The girl pushed open the door, only to be stunned by the scene before her. What was this situation? She saw a woman with her hands tied. A man was very close to her. The girl heard the man say unhappily, "Where did this woman come from? Get out." "Young master, it's me, old you. This is the person I mentioned to you last time." The girl stood there, extremely embarrassed. The man hesitated. The girl spoke up, "Hello, Mr. Jean. My name is Lin Anchi. I'm here today to—" Before the girl could finish, the man looked extremely displeased. Anchi's face fell. He looked so fierce. Seeing the man walk towards her, Anchi instantly became nervous. The man lifted her chin and rubbed her face with his hand. Anchi was speechless. "What should I do? He keeps stroking my face." Anchi looked to Butler Yu for help, but the butler pretended to look at the scenery. Anchi wanted to say, "Let go," but the man acted as if he didn't hear, not bad looking. The man leaned closer and closer, "And you smell nice too." At this moment, the man's loose robe slipped down, revealing a firm chest. The man suddenly said 2 words, "You pass." Anchi was speechless. What's going on? Why did he suddenly get naked? What does "you pass" mean? Calm down, calm down. Anchi, be cool. It's not like you haven't seen your dad's naked body. The man's lips curved upwards. Heh, still so innocent. The man snapped his fingers. "Butler Yu." "Yes, young master." The butler then handed over a black card. Seeing the black card, the woman on the bed with her hands tied struggled frantically, writhing as she said, "Ruo Ying, didn't you say you were giving this card to me? Why is it in her hand? What do you mean by this?" The man said, "I don't like your type. You can get lost now." So, the butler called people to escort the woman away. The woman kept shouting, "Jean Ruing, you lied to me. Bastard." As the door closed, it was finally quiet. The man said, "Now I can have a proper talk with you. To be honest, it was love at first sight. A beautiful girl like you is rare. Your eyes are so innocent and beautiful." And she said, excuse me. Part of my interruption. I didn't come here to listen to your pickup lines. You can save them. Besides, you shouldn't be able to see what I look like, right?" After speaking, she waved her hand in front of his eyes. The man, holding the gold card, said, "Okay, then I'll be direct. You want this card too, right? I can give it to you, but on one condition." "A condition?" The man continued, "I'll allow you to stay and work here. Your job is to satisfy all my needs, including keeping me company at night." The man reached for Anchi, but she grabbed his hand. "I'm sorry, Mr. Jean. I'm not as pretty as you imagine. And the job I came to interview for today has nothing to do with looks. I'm here to be a caregiver for the blind. I have experience taking care of blind people. I will take care of your daily life. I can be your guide in the darkness. If what you need is a caregiver and not a plaything, I would be a good choice. But as for any other unreasonable requests, I'm afraid I can't comply." The air seemed to freeze in an instant. Anchi asked uneasily, "Excuse me, did I pass the interview?" "Will Anchi pass the interview?" The man stared at her for a moment, then uttered 2 words, "Interesting." After making such a scene, you still want to pass the interview. A few days later, the man was lying in bed. Night and day made no difference to him. It was all just a stretch of darkness. His biological clock told him it was morning. The man woke up as usual, but something seemed different today. The slippers were placed perfectly by his feet. The bathrobe was placed perfectly within arm's reach. And a glass of water was placed perfectly on the table. Why so many perfect placements? Could be her doing? The man called out, "Lin Anchi, are you there?" Anchi replied, "Yes, I'm right at the door." "Mr. Jean, what are your instructions? Did you move things in my room?" "Yes, some things were placed in a way that might be inconvenient for you to use. So I—" Before she could finish, the man continued, "From now on, without my permission, you are not to move anything in my room. But I only moved a few small things. I won't touch anything else without permission." The man shouted angrily, "I don't like people moving my things. Do you understand? All right, you can leave now." Anchi was stunned by his yelling. She replied, "Yes," and went out. Anchi gently closed the door. The man picked up the glass of water, thinking as he drank, pretending to care about me. In the end, it's still about money. All these women are the same. The man slammed the cup down on the table. Meanwhile, Anchi was also angry. What bad luck, getting yelled at on the first day of work. That jerk is so hard to serve. Although I was also in the wrong, he didn't have to get so angry. I'm so mad. Anchi looked at her clothes. I'm just here to work, and I have to wear this weird uniform. The world of the rich is really hard to understand. After being kicked out, she was assigned to clean the hallway. Looking at the tidy hallway, Anchi thought, it's already so clean. What am I supposed to be cleaning? At this moment, the butler suddenly appeared, Miss Lin. Anchi, who was still daydreaming, was startled. The young master wants you to cook him a bowl of noodles. He specifically emphasized that you must knead the dough by hand. The young master has a very delicate stomach. You must pay attention to the saltiness of the noodles. Knead it by hand? Is he deliberately trying to torment me? The young master said he will be waiting with great anticipation for the noodles you make. That great devil is probably anticipating scolding me again. And she kneaded the dough with all her might, thinking that bastard is so petty. Just because I talked back to him a couple of times? The annoying face kept appearing in her mind. If it weren't for the high salary here, I would really want to leave. And she vigorously kneaded the dough, venting her dissatisfaction. At this moment, her phone rang. A text message reminded her that her bank account balance was 78 yuan. And she sighed, tuition is due again soon. I'm suffocatingly poor. For the sake of money, let's do this. Anshi's fighting spirit was reignited. She kept venting on the dough. Why little fists will hit you. I'll hit you. Let's see if you dare to bully people again. Jean Yuing sat in his room. A knock came at the door. Come in. Anshi walked in with a bowl of noodles. Jean, the noodles you wanted are ready. Your efficiency is too low. I notified you 2 hours ago. It took you this long to make one bowl of noodles. Are you trying to starve me? Anshi's face fell. She was scolded the moment she entered the room. This bastard. He's not holding back at all. I'll endure it. The man continued, I'm not hungry anymore. You can take this bowl of noodles away. Anshi was speechless. Not hungry? Are you kidding me? The noodles I worked so hard to make by hand. No, I have to make him eat it somehow. Anshi spoke up. It's no big deal if you're angry with me, but it's not worth it to starve yourself. You should eat a little. This is for your own good. Fine. The man suddenly grabbed her. You hypocrite. You don't need to care about my body. Don't think I don't know what you're thinking. He reached out to pull Anshi, and the noodles fell. He pressed Anshi onto the table. Anshi was scared and didn't know what to do. What are you doing? Let go of me. The man smiled wickedly. At this point, why are you still pretending to be pure? Isn't this what you wanted? First, you move me with gentle care, then you seduce me. Step by step, you trick money out of my hands. You're crazy. What nonsense are you talking about? The man's hand moved, and Anshi's clothes were torn. All you women are the same. You'll do anything for money. After speaking, he leaned down. Anshi struggled. I don't want to. Stop. She used all her strength to push the man away. Let go of me. Then she quickly fled. The man sat by the table, fuming. Damn it. Anshi ran in a panic. Crazy. He's a complete madman. She ran back to her room, closed the door, and slumped to the floor. So scary. I've had enough. No, I can't continue to work here. Even if they provide food and lodging. No matter how high the salary is, it's useless. I can't serve a pervert like that. So she started packing her clothes. The phone suddenly rang. She glanced at the screen. It was a call from her younger brother. That brat still has the nerve to call me. She answered the phone, her voice filled with anger. Lin Zio, did you take the money from my card? A voice came from the other end of the line, sis. Help me. I'm gonna die. It hurts, it hurts. Don't hit me. Really. I'm being chased for the money I owe from gambling. Debt? How much do you owe? 500,000. 500,000? Hearing this amount, Anshi was thunderstruck. Faced with a 500,000 debt, what will Anshi do? Looking at her entire savings of 256.2 yuan, Anshi was speechless. On the other side, the sound of thug came through. No money? Then one of your hands will have to do. After speaking, he stepped on Zio's head. He screamed in pain, sis. You can't abandon me. You promised our dead dad. Anshi fell silent. She recalled a few years ago when her terminally ill father had said to her, Anshi, you are a strong child. After dad is gone, Zio will depend on you. Anshi cried as her dad stroked her head that you've been wronged. Zio's voice came from the phone again. Sis, I can only rely on you. Anshi was silent for a long while before saying, give me 2 days. I'll raise the money. On the other end of the line, Zio said to the thug, did you hear that? My sister said she'll pay the money. The thug's voice came through the phone. All right, just 2 days. If you can't pay up by then, your brother is dead. Then the call was hung up. At this moment, Anshi felt so helpless. What should I do? Where am I going to borrow 500,000? She suddenly remembered the scene in the study just now. And that man. She knocked on the door of the man's study. Come in. Anshi walked up to the man. The man looked at her disdainfully. Lin Anshi. Anshi said nervously, what you said before about giving me the black card, is it still valid? The man smiled and reached out his hand. Anshi was extremely nervous, her steps heavy. She tried to convince herself, Anshi, don't be a coward. You can do it. It's just one night. For my brother's sake, just pretend you were bitten by a dog. The man's robe slipped down, revealing his strong chest muscles. He said contemptuously, still pretending to be pure at this point. He pulled Anshi's hand and kissed her lips. Anshi felt helpless. My first kiss. The man said, you spoke so righteously before, but in the end, you still just want money. Angie quickly explained, no, it's not that I want money. It's my brother. Haha, just keep making things up. I've heard this kind of story too many times. I'm not. You're crying? What are you crying for? You're not happy that I'm giving you money. I need money. That's true. But it's really for my brother. Forget it. You won't believe me anyway. The man was silent. Oof. Interesting. What's so interesting? What do you mean? You can go. I don't like women who cry all the time. Wait, Mr. Jean. And she wanted to say more, but the man interrupted her. All right, I'll still give you the money, but don't think this money is for free. And she looked at him, confused. The man took out a document. There's a contract here. You can only get the money after you sign it. And she was stunned. The man added, I'm a very gentle person. I don't like to force others. It's fine if you don't want to sign, but you just ruined my mood. We'll talk about other things when I'm interested again. And she looked at the contract with tears in her eyes. He's raising the price on the spot. Vile capitalist. And this contract is basically an indenture agreement. Whatever, no matter what. I still have to get the money to bail out Zio. After getting the money, the thugs released Zio, and she stood there with a broom, lost in thought. The day I signed the contract, I was already mentally prepared to be played with and trampled on by that pervert. A week has passed now, and nothing has happened. He's still the same as before, occasionally playing tricks on me in different ways. I really don't understand that pervert's thinking. What's there to sweep on such a clean floor? She really didn't get it. The butler walked towards her. Miss Lynn, the young master wants to see you in the study. Okay, what new way is that guy planning to torment me today? And she sighed helplessly. What new trick will the man play? And she pushed open the door. Mr. Jean, did you need me for something? Help me find a book. After he said the title, and she climbed the ladder. She searched through the huge bookshelf, found it. Read it to me. It's organizational behavior for MBA. It looks super boring. And she thought, well, I'll just read it. He's my boss, after all. So she started to read. The man listened quietly, without saying a word. He doesn't seem so annoying anymore. After signing the contract, he hasn't done anything excessive to me. Maybe I misunderstood him before. Maybe he's not that bad by nature. But then she had another thought. In a way. He's always hugging and cuddling with other women, kissing and being intimate. This guy is basically a stud. He changes girlfriends every week. Anyway, it has nothing to do with me. I'll just pretend I didn't see the eyesore. Suddenly, a voice called out, hey, you, the maid over there. Where's the restroom? It was the beautiful woman from earlier. The woman spoke again. I'm talking to you. Oh, go straight ahead and turn left. As soon as she said it, she felt it was wrong. She quickly added, wait, left is that way. Miss, please wait. The restroom isn't this way. And she quickly followed her and pushed open the door. Where did she go? A gust of wind blew a photograph to the floor. And she picked up the photo. Whose photo is this? What a beautiful woman. Wait, why does this little boy look a bit like Gene Ewing? Could he be his illegitimate son? Oh no, I saw something I shouldn't have. And she started to struggle with herself that I should just pretend I didn't see it. I'll put it back where it was. She carefully placed the photo back on the table, telling herself, I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything. Then she exited the room and took a deep breath. Good, no one saw me. Didn't see what? A man's voice suddenly came from behind her. And she jumped in fright. Why aren't you answering? And she was so nervous, she started to sweat. She thought, what bad luck. He had to catch me. If he finds out I saw the photo, he'll definitely fly into a rage. And she said nervously, I was just a little tired. I was resting here for a bit. Resting? I think you were slacking off. I didn't. I caught you, and you still want to argue. Could it be that you saw me with another woman and are sulking here? Mr. Jean, you're overthinking it. The man leaned in close and said, what an unromantic wild girl. Mr. Jean, please have some self-respect. Your girlfriend is still here. Girlfriend? That woman is just my plaything. How dare you resist me? Have you forgotten who the master is? The man forcefully pinched Angie's chin. And she winced in pain. Ouch. What a buzzkill. Why did he suddenly go crazy again? This guy is definitely sick. The man said, that's right. Give you an inch and you'll take a mile. All you women are the same. I order you to accompany me tonight. And she was helpless. That man doesn't treat people like human beings at all. It's so infuriating. But what he said was right. I sold myself cheap. I sold my body for money. I was already mentally prepared for this. What's there to hesitate about now? I've changed my clothes as you instructed. And she came to the man's side. Very good. Wearing the clothes he likes and offering myself to him. It's truly a bit humiliating. What will happen next? Hearing Anshi's voice, the man said, come over and have a drink with me. I don't know how to drink. Don't make me say it a second time. Anshi's face darkened. She thought, this guy is trying to get me drunk to make things easier for himself. A wolf in sheep's clothing. You must be cursing me in your head, but you still have to be obediently played with by me. Money can buy everything. This is reality. You should thank me for teaching you this. You're wrong. Suddenly, the man's body started to curl up. Hey, what's wrong with you? Stomachache. It's an old problem. If you're not feeling well, why are you pushing yourself? Wait a minute. I'll go get you some medicine. And she walked into a room. There should be medicine in this room. She opened a drawer and saw a bracelet. This plastic? He actually treasures a toy bracelet like this. The taste of rich people is really hard to understand. Anshi came over with medicine and water. She placed her hand on the man's forehead. Oh, you're a little hot. The man suddenly grabbed Anshi's hand. Anshi was pulled into his embrace. See? You're clearly willing. Why are you still playing dumb? No way. He's like this and still wants to continue. I can't let you escape my grasp. I said today is the day. Mr. Jean, please don't. Doesn't your stomach hurt? Let's do it another day. Stop nagging. A stomachache won't get in the way. Anshi started to beg. I'm begging you. Let me go. Didn't you say you don't like to force people? Am I forcing you? You walked into my room and climbed onto my bed yourself. You haven't forgotten, have you? You're the one pretending. I've seen your type many times. Don't think that just because I can't see through your disguise. Pretending to be all innocent, isn't it just to seduce men? And she said, trembling, this is my first time. To give my first kiss and my first time to someone like you. I'm not willing. The man's outstretched hand stopped in midair. As for the first kiss, no way. Don't you know what you've done to me? To a playboy like you. That incident probably doesn't count as anything. Forget it. It's just my bad luck. I deserve to fall into the hands of a beast like you. Hey, you're still going to say I was willing, right? Don't flatter yourself. What you're doing is basically forcing a good person into prostitution. You scum. Even if I give you my body, I will only hate you for the rest of my life. And she cursed wildly. The man was speechless. You're really good at ruining other people's mood. Forget it. I'll let you go for now. Goal achieved. Anshi was overjoyed. She turned around, ready to make a quick escape. Can Anshi slip away? Find out in the next episode. Just as she was about to escape, Anshi was suddenly called back. Why stomach hurts. You'll stay here and take care of me tonight. Yes. Although I hate him, taking care of him is my job after all. And she placed her hand on his forehead. Wow, the fever. Is this serious? For this salary, I must endure it. And she busily applied a hot compress for him. The man suddenly started talking in his sleep. Mom, I feel sick. The man dreamed of when he was a child. When he was sick, his mother would take care of him by his bedside. The unsuspecting Anshi was smiling foolishly beside him. He's actually calling for his mom. In that case, you're much cuter when you're sick. Early the next morning, the sound of footsteps approached. The door was suddenly opened. Madam, you're here. The butler said, I heard Ewing had a fever last night. I brought Dr. Cheen to check on him. Where is the young master? The doctor asked. Please follow me. And she heard the voices and lifted her head. It's morning. It seems someone is here. Where did this wild girl come from? The woman glared at her. Get out of the way. The butler quickly said, Madam, this is the new caregiver. She was taking care of the young master last night. Madam, this is Jean Ewing's mother. And she quickly moved to the side. The woman sat by the bed. Doctor Cheen, please check on Ewing quickly. The woman fussed over the man. Ewing, how are you feeling? Where does it hurt? Standing to the side, and she seemed to notice something. At my imagination. Jean Ewing's attitude is so strange. The doctor finished taking his temperature, a high fever of 39 degrees. The woman immediately became furious, yelling at Anshi, how do you do your job? Jean Ewing has become like this. Are you just a decoration here? Dressed like that, who are you trying to seduce? Anshi was at a loss for words. The butler quickly intervened. Madam, please calm down. The most important thing now is to take care of the young master. Anshi, go bring the young master's breakfast. Anshi replied and left you. Carrying the breakfast, Anshi thought, that scared me to death. The madam has such a temper. But it's understandable since Jean Ewing is sick. But Jean Ewing ignored the madam from beginning to end. It feels strange. Will I be fired? Seeing the madam on the phone, Anshi thought, is the madam preparing to leave so soon? She heard the madam say into the phone, you take over that project immediately. I'll talk to your dad. Of course, this is also for Ewing's health. And she wondered if she should greet her. She seems to be on an important call. I'd better not disturb her. She brought the porridge to the man's side. Mr. Jean, please have some porridge. Did you cook this? No. It was made by the kitchen. Oh, then I won't eat it. And she quickly said, young master, you're still sick. You should eat something. She thought, has the fever made this guy stupid? He doesn't act spoiled when the madam is around, but now he's acting spoiled with me. The man said, you were just scolded and your attitude is so bad. Do you really not want this job anymore? Not at all. I'm concerned about you. If you think the porridge is too hot, I can blow on it for you. That's more like it. And she handed the bowl over. Okay, try it. The man showed a wicked smile. Anshi's face darkened. I have a bad feeling. Why is this guy smiling so wickedly? The man, with a sly look, looked at Anshi and said, how about this? If you really care about me, then feed me. I can promise not to touch you, but I can't just give you 500,000 for nothing. Let's just say this money is to buy your concern. That should be fine, right? Anshi fell into deep thought. That seems to make some sense. Oh my, what are you talking about? Of course I'm genuinely concerned about you. Here, open your mouth. Haha, so insincere, so far away from me. Anshi's mind was racing. After all that's happened, how could I dare get close to you? This big pervert must be up to no good again. The man seemed to have read her mind. Look, I'm still running a fever. I won't do anything to you. All right, come here. After speaking, he put his arm around Anshi. Anshi was full of question marks. We're just feeding you porridge. We don't need to be this close, do we? My previous caregivers all fed me like this. Is there a problem? Of course there's a problem. A big one. The man said in her ear, but I'm just used to eating porridge this way. Anshi quickly pushed him away. Don't mess around. The porridge is getting cold. Then hurry up and feed me. They were so close that I can't feed you in this position. How come my previous caregivers could do it, but you can't? Or are you deliberately pretending you can't? And you actually want to be with me. If you want to interact in a different way, that's fine too. I don't mind. Anshi was helpless. Why won't this damn pervert let me go? The man held her even tighter. Mr. Jean. Suddenly, the phone on the table rang. Anshi felt like she had found a lifeline. She quickly picked up the phone. Mr. Jean, it's your phone. The man took the phone. Hello? It's me. Anshi let out a heavy sigh, finally escaped. She only heard the man saying to the phone, Dad. He turned back to Anshi and said, you can leave now. Anshi carried the things and walked out. She heard the man say, I'm following up on that project. Got it. Anshi thought with confusion. That tone doesn't sound like he's talking to his dad. It's more like a superior. It feels strange. It seems Jean Yuing's relationship with his parents is very bad. No wonder his personality is so terrible. She looked up and realized she seemed to have taken the wrong path again. And she suddenly remembered that photo, that I seem to have a strong connection with this place. This vase, isn't it the one from the doorway of that room last time? The butler's voice suddenly came. Anshi, you can't go into this room. Butler, I didn't go in. Anshi asked nervously, what if I did go in? What would happen? Nothing much. It's just that this is the young master's birth mother's room. He doesn't like people going in. Actually, I accidentally went in once. The butler asked, as long as the young master didn't find out, it's fine. Anshi said, Butler, please, don't tell the young master. Don't worry. Anshi thought, so that madam isn't his birth mother. Then where did the original madam go? The butler reminded her, Miss Anshi, we don't discuss the Jean family's private matters. That's a rule in this house. Oh, I'm sorry. You must never enter that room again in the future. The butler reminded her. Anshi looked at the vase. I'll remember. And she thought he probably lost his mother at a young age, which is why he developed such a twisted personality. Indeed, hateful people have their own pitiful stories. His cold attitude towards his stepmother is understandable. But why is he also so cold to his father? I really don't get it. Forget it. It's none of my business. I won't think about it. The sound of a commotion came. Let me through. The butler said, Miss Jean, you can't go in. I'm here to see Jean Yuing. A woman said and started to walk in. The butler grabbed her. The young master is not home. You can't go in. The woman shook off the butler's hand. I don't care. I must see him today. The door was suddenly pushed open. Jean Yuing, I know you're home. Jean Yuing, who was still on the phone, suddenly stopped. Didn't I say no one is to disturb me? The butler quickly said, I'm sorry, young master. Miss Zhao said it's urgent. And she peeked from the side of the door, observing secretly. She knew she shouldn't be watching, but she couldn't help it. She heard the woman say, Jean Yuing, I missed you so much. You didn't answer my calls, so I had to come find you. Just say it. What is it? Well, I'm pregnant with your child. The butler and Anshi both had looks of confusion. The man took out a check. This is 5 million. You can go now. Don't come looking for me again. The woman looked at the check, but didn't take it. I didn't come for the money. I genuinely want to be with you. Ying, you can't do this to me. Not enough. Add another 5 million. You'd better know what's good for you. The woman went forward to hug him. This isn't about money. I'm carrying your own flesh and blood. The child is innocent. The man was impatient. What a waste of time. Butler, you see her out. Don't think you can marry into the Jean family just because you have a child. You should be content with 10 million. Miss Zhao. The butler politely saw her out. Don't touch me. The woman ran out crying. Anchi thought, this girl is so pitiful. Jean Ying is such a scumbag. Lin Anchi, are you there? The man's voice suddenly came. Anchi was puzzled. What the? How does he know I'm here? He's probably just calling out randomly. Should I pretend I'm not here? The man said again, you've been eavesdropping at the door this whole time, haven't you? Making such a scene. Don't pretend you're not here. Anchi had already thought of an excuse. Aren't I your caregiver? It's convenient for me to serve you if I'm waiting at the door. Forget it, whatever. Come over and give me a massage. After speaking, he took off his robe. Didn't he say to give him a massage? Why is he starting to take off his clothes? Is he asking me to change his clothes for him? Anchi nervously swallowed and reached her hands towards the man. Why so nervous? Calm down, calm down. The man suddenly spoke. You just stand there so obediently. It makes me look like the pervert. As Anchi's hand neared his waist, it started to tremble. She thought, he should be wearing underwear, right? The man started to smile wickedly. Hurry up. You're not mesmerized, are you? Anchi said nervously, how could I be? The man seemed a bit helpless. Forget it. I'll take it off myself. Seeing the underwear sitting low on his waist, Anchi froze on the spot. He really is wearing them. You damn pervert. Wearing your underwear so low. This guy is definitely messing with me on purpose. Seeing Anchi still in a daze, the man spoke. What's still stunned? Are you disappointed that I'm wearing underwear? Anchi answered nervously, and no, that's not it. The man lifted Anchi's chin. Give me a good massage. I'm really looking forward to your skills. Anchi replied shyly, why yes. This flirtatious demon loves to flirt whenever he gets the chance. Anchi started to give him a back massage. The man suggested, you can sit on my waist, you know. Okay. Anchi sat on the man's back and started to massage him. But this position doesn't feel right. The man suddenly turned over and grabbed Anchi's hand. He then pinned Anchi down on the bed and was about to kiss her. Anchi forcefully pushed him away. The man said charmingly, I can feel it. You want it too. We're all adults here. Stop pretending you don't understand. After speaking, he tore Anchi's clothes. Anchi resisted with all her might. The man was a bit angry. You have no right to refuse me. Anchi started to argue back. You're the one who has no right to treat me like this. It's true that I owe you money, but that doesn't mean you can trample on my dignity as you please. You keep breaking your own promises, only caring about your own fun. You're too selfish. You should shut up. The man kissed her again. What will happen next? Suddenly kissed by the man, Anchi didn't know what to do. Bastard, stop. Suddenly, a strange voice came, Fei Bai. So intense. The voice belonged to Tang Fei Bai. A handsome, blonde man walked in. Jean Ying put on his robe. Anchi quickly covered her face. The blonde man laughed. Haha, it's rare that you still remember me. But this girl is clearly not willing. What kind of play are you two engaged in? Jean Ying said impatiently, stop nagging. Why are you here, kid? I missed you. Get lost. The blonde man put his arm around Jean Ying's shoulder and said, all right, let's be serious. I have some good news for you. Anchi looked at the two of them and quickly said, then, Mr. Jean, I'll be leaving first. The man said, come back after you've changed your clothes. Yes. Anchi took the opportunity to escape. She let out a long sigh. I probably escaped disaster. The two men sat on the sofa. Jean Ying spoke first. Go on, what's the good news? It's about your eyes. I heard in England that there's a new technology that can cure your eyes. Do you want to try it? Jean Ying was silent. Anchi, who was pouring tea, was puzzled. His eyes can be cured? Does that mean he wasn't born blind? Jean Ying questioned. New technology? Last time it was the same. I don't believe in any new technology. The blonde man spoke up. You can't say that. People always need to have hope. Before he could finish, Anchi's foot slipped and a cup of tea spilled onto the blonde man's face. Damn it. The water trickled down the blonde man's face. He was speechless. Anchi quickly apologized. I'm sorry. The blonde man was annoyed. How can you not even do such a small thing right? You. Anchi quickly grabbed a towel. I'm so sorry, Mr. Tang. Let me wipe it clean for you. Looking at the pitiful Anchi, the blonde man said, oh, it's okay. Your name is Anchi, right? You're very beautiful. You really look like an angel. Anchi brought another cup of tea. Thank you for the compliment. She thought, these playboys are all the same. They flirt so casually. Turning back, the blonde man said to Jean Ewing, "Young Master Jean, this little beauty of yours is quite nice. You'd better not bully her." Standing to the side, Anchi was so touched. Wow, finally someone is speaking up for me. Mr. Tang is such a good person. Say a few more words to him. But the man spoke up, "Mind your own business." The blonde man teased, "Haha, why would I mind your business? I'm worried that Sister Anchi will be bullied by you." Hearing this, Anchi's face was cold. "Little sister, this guy's no good either. Don't be blinded by money. Don't talk as if I'm already with him." "Hey, I'm not, I didn't." Jean Ewing fiercely stubbed out his cigarette in the ashtray. Tang Fei Bai, that's enough. Oh my, the young master is angry again. In the evening, Anchi pushed open the door. "Sirs, dinner is ready." The two men sat at the dining table. Anchi poured them red wine. The blonde man smiled wickedly. Anchi was puzzled. Is it my imagination? Why does he keep smiling at me? What will the blonde man do next? What will the wickedly smiling blonde man do? He was heard saying, "Little beauty, so you're Jean Ewing's private caregiver." The great young master of the Jean family is eating the grass by his own den. The man wrapped his arm around Anchi's waist. She came to my door. It would be a waste not to eat. Anchi forcefully pushed Jean Ewing away. "Who came to your door?" "Pervert." The blonde man looked at Anchi and smiled without saying a word. Anchi felt a little flustered. Why is he looking at me like that? Is there something on my face? Anchi held the wine glass. Mr. Tang, let me pour you a glass of wine. But her elbow accidentally bumped Mr. Tang's hand. The chopsticks slipped from his hand and fell to the floor. Anchi said nervously, "I'm sorry. It's okay, it's okay. I'll go get you a new pair right away." As she said this, Anchi reached down to pick them up. The blonde man also reached out his hand. "It's okay. I'll get it." Neither of them, focused on picking up the chopsticks, noticed. With a bang, their heads collided. The blonde man laughed. "Haha, are we acting in a comedy film?" Anchi said awkwardly, "I'm really sorry, Mr. Tang. I don't know what's wrong with me today." The blonde man was heard saying, "To be able to get so close to a beautiful girl like you, I must have some romantic luck." Anchi shyly scratched her head. Mr. Tang, you really know how to talk. You're making me blush." The man continued, "I'm just telling the truth. A pure and beautiful girl like you is rare." Thank you for the compliment. The blonde man continued, "What a pity. Ewing, you can't see her beauty." Jean Ewing sneered, "Are you deliberately provoking me to get me to agree to the surgery?" The blonde man smiled slyly. "Oh, you found me out. But Miss Anchi is really beautiful. Are you really not interested?" Jean Ewing picked up his wine glass. All women are the same. After speaking, he finished his glass of wine. "Pour more wine." Anchi poured him another glass. Late at night, Anchi lay in bed. Today was so busy. I can finally rest. But Jean Ewing is also really strange. He clearly has a chance to cure his eyes. So why is he unwilling to undergo surgery? Does he really not care about living in darkness forever? At this moment, the phone on the bedside table rang. Anchi sat up abruptly. Only Jean Ewing would call this phone. "It's so late. Isn't he asleep yet?" A voice came from the other end of the line. "Anchi, come over for a moment." "Oh, now? But I'm already in bed." Before she could finish, the other person had already hung up. Anchi was speechless. This damn pervert. She had no choice but to go over. She pushed open the door and asked, "Mr. Jean, what are your instructions?" "Help me blow dry my hair." Anchi replied, "Okay." She thought, he needs someone to serve him for such a small thing. "I'm so sleepy. I'll just get it done quickly and leave." She picked up the hairdryer and started to blow dry his hair. It's rare to see him so obedient. It's quite refreshing. And his hair is so soft. It feels like a little cat. He's so cute. Cute. Anchi's face fell. Oops, I said the wrong thing. Will Anchi be punished for her slip of the tongue? She quickly covered her mouth. I must be stupid from sleepiness. How could I say something so dumb? The man suddenly grabbed her hand. He pulled her in his arms. "You think I'm cute?" Anchi was at a loss. She struggled and said, "No, I just think your hair feels like a little cat." The man glared at a little cat. Anchi quickly explained in a panic, "No, that's not it. I misspoke." The man spoke. "Is this your way of seducing men? You act the same way in front of Tang Fei Bai, pretending to be innocent." What nonsense are you talking about? Let go of me. What, did I hit a nerve? Are you flustered? You've already set your sights on Tang Fei Bai and changed your target so quickly. Anchi was furious that you're simply unreasonable. Don't touch me. But the next second, her dress was torn. Don't forget, you're my person now. What are you doing? Stop. Anchi was pushed onto the bed. She cried out in pain. Nice scream. Keep going. This guy is crazy. So scary. You, don't come any closer. What's scared? You brought this upon yourself. No, don't. The man pinned down Anchi's hands. Anchi started to struggle desperately. Let go of me. Stop struggling. Today, I'll let you know that you are mine. Anchi trembled with fear at what's wrong with him today. Is he drunk? It's like he's completely lost his mind. So scary. The man spoke. Do you think Tang Fei Bai is better than me? Do you despise me for being a blind man? No, I don't. Anchi was helpless. What can I do besides be at his mercy? He doesn't care about my struggles at all. To him, I'm like a lamb to a wolf. From the moment I signed that ridiculous contract, I was destined to never escape him. All the rules are set by him. Why should I bother struggling? It's utterly ridiculous. Utterly pathetic. Tears streamed down her cheeks. You are truly a pathetic person. The man was puzzled. I'm pathetic. And she said, in your eyes, everything is about money. If I'm nice to someone, it's to seduce them for money. I have no feelings for Mr. Tang. Even if I did, it wouldn't be for money. Your world has nothing but money. If that's not pathetic, what is? Your goal is my body. Then take it. A soulless, empty shell. You don't need a soul anyway, do you? The man was silent. What a buzzkill. I don't want an unresponsive body. Get out. And she got up and walked out, leaning against the wall and crying silently. What choice will the heartbroken Anchi make? After leaving Jean Yuying's room, Anchi didn't go back to her own room. She squatted in a corner of the hallway and cried all night. After her father passed away, there was no one left in the world who would care for her. She felt utterly hopeless. She wanted to run away. She really couldn't go on. At this moment, her phone suddenly rang. Anchi picked up the phone. It's Senior Han. Why would Senior be calling me at this hour? I can't show my desolate side in front of Senior. I need to quickly compose myself. Hello, Senior Han. A voice came from the other end of the line. Anchi, it's been a while. How has your break been? Anchi thought. My boss at work torments me every day, and I have to be on guard against his advances at all times. It's not good at all. But she couldn't bring herself to say it. And she could only say, it's been okay. The voice on the phone came again. You have time to help me with something recently? It's a translation job. Can I do it? It's quite sudden to ask for your help, but I believe in your abilities. I hope you can help me. No, that's not the problem. I'll definitely help with anything Senior asks. But what I mean is, I happen to have some free time. That's great. I was about to come to you and get on my knees to beg you. That's an exaggeration. Senior probably noticed I was unhappy and was deliberately trying to cheer me up. There's still someone in this world who cares about me. Thank you, Senior. I need to pull myself together. Work hard to earn money and get out of Jean Yuying's contract as soon as possible. On the other side, Jean Yuying was smoking gloomily. The butler came to report to him, Young master, I've investigated Lin Anchi's background. Her mother passed away early, and her father also passed away 2 years ago. It's worth mentioning that her father was blind before he died. Her father was frail and sickly, and the long-term medical expenses left them heavily in debt. She also has a younger brother named Lin Zio, who has now dropped out of school and idles around all day. Forgive me for saying so, but the burden Miss Lin carries is far heavier than that of her peers. The man thought, so she really wasn't lying to me. I wronged her. The butler continued, also, I traced the money you gave her last time. She did indeed use it to pay off Lin Zio's debt. I know. Tell Anchi to come here. Anchi came over to help Jean Yuying get dressed, but her mind was elsewhere. I need to check the content I just received with Senior to make sure everything is correct. The man suddenly spoke. Yesterday, how did you rest? Anchi was full of question marks. Is he asking me? Or did I mishear? Seeing that she didn't say anything, the man asked again, Hey, I'm talking to you. Why aren't you answering? Anchi came back to her senses. He really is asking me. Damn pervert. Why pretend to be a good person? She replied, thanks to you, not well at all. The man pinched her chin. You still dare to talk to me like that? Have you forgotten the consequences of angering me? Forget it. If you didn't rest well, I'll give you the day off today. Anchi was stunned. You don't want the day off? Anchi quickly said, No, that's not it. I just haven't finished helping you get dressed. This bastard. Why the sudden pang of conscience? Will Anchi be able to rest on her day off? Anchi thought, whatever, it's good to have a day off. I'll have time to do the translation work. Anchi quickly typed on her computer, good thing. This is a romance novel, so it's not too difficult to translate. A knock came at the door. The butler walked in with a card. Anchi, your salary card is ready. The salary is already in the account. Anchi was puzzled. Salary? But I just got here. The butler added, you applied for a salary advance before, and the young master approved it. Anchi said happily, wow, thank you, butler you. The butler said, why thank me? You should thank the young master. Oh, Jean Yuying. I'll do that later. The butler added, if you thank him in person, the young master will be very happy. The young master's needs are actually very simple. A cup of coffee made with care is enough to express your gratitude. And she said, but I don't want to deliberately suck up to him. At this moment, a ding, ding, ding sound came from the computer. It was a message from Senior, and she remembered that she hadn't finished her work. I have to write quickly. I can't keep Senior waiting. Meanwhile, on Jean Yuying's side, didn't I give her the day off? Why did old you say she's still in her room? He looked at the phone beside him, and this girl is wasting the day off I gave her. If I had known, I wouldn't have given her the day off. So he dialed Anshi's number. The phone rang. Anshi thought, Jean Yuying, didn't you give me the day off? I could just not answer, right? The phone kept ringing. It's too noisy. I can't work at all. If I don't answer, fine, I'll answer. A man's voice came from the phone. Come over and make me a cup of coffee. Didn't you say I have the day off? Anshi asked back that we'll talk about another day. Anshi thought, this annoying pervert. Fine, I'll deal with him quickly and come back to finish my work. Anshi quickly ran to the pantry. She brought the coffee to Jean Yuying. Here's your coffee. You're quite quick. Can I go back now? No, I have something else to tell you. Oh, go on. The man picked up his coffee and said, you now have an opportunity for a promotion. Your salary will be doubled. Hearing that her salary would be doubled, Anshi's eyes widened. Her mind was filled with banknotes. Wait, calm down and think. How could there be such a good thing? He must be asking me to sell my body to him again. I'd better pass. The way things are now is fine. The man said impatiently, what did you say? You also know I haven't graduated from university yet. I won't be working at the Jean family for long, so let's just forget it. How unreasonable. The man slammed the coffee cup on the table. The coffee spilled all over the floor. Anshi looked at the spilled coffee. She silently started to clean it up. What's wrong with this pervert now? The man was frustrated. Damn it, I lost my temper at her again. This girl can always provoke me so easily. Don't clean it up. I'll call old you. One more thing. Starting tomorrow, you'll accompany me to the Seaside villa. Anshi's eyes widened. What's going on? The Seaside. What will happen on the trip to the Seaside? A car was parked in front of the Jean residence. The man and Anshi sat together in the back seat. The butler was heard saying, young master, Anshi, have a safe trip. Anshi asked with confusion, butler, aren't you coming? The butler said, I can't get away. Anshi, take good care of the young master. Anshi said to the butler outside the car window, no way. I want to get out of the car. Suddenly, her arm was grabbed by the man. Hey, sit properly. The car started. The man rested his head on Anshi's shoulder. Anshi thought, I'm already on a pirate ship. I have no choice but to accept my fate. I should have sat in the front seat. The car continued on its way. The journey was uneventful, and they arrived at the seaside. When Anshi saw the sea, she was overjoyed. Wow, it's so beautiful here. The man also smiled, I'm so happy, just like a child. The man suddenly spoke, all right, let's go inside. The sea breeze is sticky. It's uncomfortable to be in it for too long. Anshi sighed, weren't you the one who said you wanted to come to the seaside? Now you're complaining about everything. So hard to please. Forget it. It's a rare trip to the seaside. I can't let him ruin this beautiful scenery. The man said again, put away your luggage, then tidy up my room. It's already tidied up. Anshi asked, Mr. Jean, can I go to the beach now? She imagined Seaside. Here I come. No, I want to take a bath now. Anshi was speechless and had to turn around. Yes. It was Anshi's first time at the villa. Holding a map, she wondered, where is the bathroom? The man next to her was humming a little tune. Anshi went to the bathroom and filled the tub with water. She said, Mr. Jean, the water is ready. I'll be leaving now. Call me when you're done bathing. The man started to undress and said, hey, didn't old you tell you? You have to serve me around the clock these few days, including bathing. Anshi was shocked. What? And no, I can't. How can I do that? If I have to bathe myself, then what's the use of having you as a caregiver? Anshi was speechless. The man said impatiently, hurry up and come over. Anshi stood there, not knowing what to do. It's okay. It's just a naked man. It's not like I haven't seen one before. The statue of David, world-famous paintings, and all that. Besides, I've also helped Zio bathe before, although he was only 5 years old then. Anshi couldn't convince herself, I still can't do it. But her foot slipped and she fell into the bathtub. What's the situation with the two people in the bathtub? Just now, Anshi slipped and fell into the bathtub. What's more embarrassing is that she landed right on the man's chest. Oh, sorry. Anshi's face instantly turned beet red. She kept splashing the water and screaming, ah. The man covered his ears and said impatiently, are you done screaming? The man suddenly lifted Anshi's chin. Stop pretending. You deliberately jumped in to have a mandarin duck bath with me, didn't you? Anshi's face was flushed with shame. She took a defensive posture. What nonsense are you talking about? The man asked again, so you're not wearing any clothes right now, are you? How was that possible? She looked at her soaking wet self. Water was still dripping down. This is even more embarrassing than being naked. Good thing he can't see. Anshi thought, I'll go change my clothes. Change? Why not just be naked? I can't see anyway. The man said, holding a wine glass and teasing her. Anshi was at a loss for words. He makes a good point. I have no way to refute it. Forget it. I won't change. Let's just get this bath over with. Anshi picked up the washcloth and soap. Her attitude suddenly became very perfunctory. Anshi started to scrub his back. When she touched his skin, Anshi was speechless. It's like being struck by lightning. How can this pervert's skin be so good? He truly is a pampered young master. Compared to him, I'm so envious and jealous. Looking at the man in front of her, Anshi thought, actually, when he's not talking, he's not that perverted. He has a good body too. Although he can't see, it looks like he exercises regularly. The man seemed to have noticed something. Hey, why did you stop? Coming back to her senses, Anshi's face flushed red and panicked. What am I thinking? She quickly said, I'm lathering the soap. Then she frantically rubbed it all over his body. The man was displeased and suddenly stood up. Anshi quickly turned around. If you're done bathing, I'll be leaving now. Then she quickly fled the scene. But the floor was slippery, and Anshi fell to the ground with a thud. The man quickly asked, what's wrong? Anshi sat on the floor, not knowing where she had hurt herself. She just felt a lot of pain. She tried to stand up, but she couldn't stand up no matter how hard she tried. It seemed she had twisted her ankle. The man said, so clumsy. You're a grown adult, and you still fall. Where are you? I'll help you up. Anshi thought, although I really want to refuse, I really can't get up on myself right now. So she said, I'm here. The man walked over and held her wrist. Oh, what are you doing? Don't move. Let me feel it to see if it's serious. The floor is slippery. Be careful. Oh, okay. Anshi thought, is he actually concerned about me? The man said again, if you break anything, you can't afford to pay for it. Anshi was helpless. Okay, I guess I was overthinking it. This bastard is still as annoying as ever. What do the man's words to Anshi mean? Anshi was annoyed. I thought you were genuinely concerned about me. The man said, I am genuinely concerned about you. Don't you want to pay off your debt sooner? Don't be clumsy and add new debts. Anshi rolled her eyes. She was so angry her face turned red. Before she could finish, the phone suddenly rang. I'll go get the call. The man reminded her, don't fall again. I won't. After saying that, she ran off in a flash. She picked up the phone. Hey, it's Senior. Anshi's face lit up with a joyful smile. Hello, Senior. A voice came from the other end of the line. Anshi, is the translation work going smoothly? I can send it to you tonight. So fast. You're amazing. I, as your senior, feel inferior. Anshi couldn't hide her inner J. Oh, why? No, not at all. A meow, meow sound came from the phone. Don't move. Anshi quickly asked, Senior, what's wrong with you? At this moment, Jean Yuing silently walked past behind Anshi. The phone said, it's nothing. It's just my cat, Bazong. He gets excited whenever he hears your voice. It seems he likes you a lot. He meowed nonstop. Haha, he likes me. Anshi didn't notice the man behind her. Jean Yuing silently getting angry. How dare she flirt with another man in front of me? And I was kind enough to bring you to the villa to relax. On the other end of the line, Beige, do you have a crush on Sister Anshi? Hearing the meow of a cat, Anshi is very happy. How cute. I like you too. The man behind her coaxes, you like it? The senior's voice comes from the phone again. Anshi, aren't you afraid I'll misunderstand if you say that? Anshi also realizes something. Senior, I haven't finished speak. Her hand is grabbed. A furious roar. That's enough. You've been on the phone for so long. Do you think I'm dead? Anshi looks bewildered. What's wrong with you? He was fine just a moment ago. Why is he going crazy again? The man grabs her arm. Hang up the phone. Already hooking up with another man so soon. Anshi is hurt by his grip. Let me go. Why are your words always so harsh? I'm just working a part-time job. Anshi feels a sharp pain from his grip. The man pinches her chin. That a part-time job? Am I not enough to satisfy you? What are you talking about? The man continues. You'd seduce anyone for money. Are you that desperate for money? Anshi is furious at his words. Yes, I'm desperate for money. So what? A young master like you, raised in a greenhouse. You don't understand my struggles at all. The man retorts, in any case, I forbid you from doing any other work. And she is speechless. Young master, do you not realize how childish your words are? I'm at a loss for words. Is he just emotionally immature? Like a domineering child who won't let anyone take his toys. Maybe you should try a different way to communicate with him. The man says, hey, why aren't you talking? And she switches to cute mode. Didn't you just say you hope I can pay off my debt sooner? If it doesn't affect my caregiving work, can you let me continue my part-time job? The man is silent. And she continues like right now. If you have no other orders, I can go do the finishing touches. It'll only take half an hour. After speaking, she prepares to slip away. You stop right there. Do you think I'm a 3-year-old? Trying to run off after a few sweet words. And she sighs. As expected, it didn't work. But at least he doesn't seem as angry now. Playing pitiful had some effect, I guess. The man suddenly grabs Anshi's shoulder. Actually, you don't have to work so hard. As long as you become my girlfriend. Will Anshi agree? What will the man who suddenly confessed do? He leans in to kiss Anshi. Anshi forcefully pushes him away. The man feels a sharp pain as blood trickles from the corner of his mouth. Seeing him bleed, did I bite too hard? The man wipes the blood from the corner of his mouth with his hand. It seems I need to remind you. With that contract in place, you are my person. Anshi's fists tremble uncontrollably. The man leans in again. Don't worry. I'll be gentle. Anshi is helpless. What's bound to happen will happen. Tears well up in her eyes. Can I really not escape this time? Suddenly, a rapid knocking sound comes from the door. Young master, the man is displeased. Who let you in? Get out. The attendant hurriedly says, Madam is looking for you. She said, my father. What happened to him? The attendant replies, Madam said it's urgent. She wants you to call her back immediately. And she quickly says, I'll go get the phone for you. And she thinks this is great. Dodged another bullet. Here's your phone. The call goes through. After 2 beeps, a voice comes through showing, your dad's been hospitalized. Hospitalized? What happened? In any case, you need to come over right away. He hangs up the phone. The car speeds away from the villa. The man says, drive faster. The car speeds down the road. And she turns her head to look at Gene Ewing. It's the first time I've seen him so nervous. The man nervously holds Anshi's hand. The car is driving on a bridge. They hear the driver say, oh no, the brakes. Gene Ewing asks, what's wrong? The driver hurriedly says, the brakes have failed. Anshi thinks this is bad. But the next second, the car crashes into the guardrail. The speeding car falls off the bridge. The man tightly grabs Anshi's arm. Don't panic. Hold on to the safety handle. Anshi thinks, oh God, I don't want to die yet. The car quickly crashes into a rock. Anshi is knocked unconscious. The man slowly wakes up. Hey. Seeing no reaction from Anshi, he says again, Anshi, wake up. The man is scared. Anshi slowly opens her eyes. It hurts so much. The man asks nervously, are you okay? Are you hurt? Where are you hurt? My back hurts so much. The man's hand touches her back. I asked this. Blood on my hand. Anshi leans weakly against the man. Hey, my hand is sticky. She's bleeding a lot. Hey, Anshi, wake up. The man takes out his phone and dials. Hello? Is this the emergency line? There's been a car accident here. Please tell me your address. The man is lost. I don't know. Are there any landmarks near you? The man can't answer. Hello, sir? Can you hear me? The man says, where is this? I don't know. That. Anshi says weakly, we're on XX Road. The man quickly says, we're on XX Road. Please hurry. In the hospital. Butler Yu says, Driver Hong's funeral arrangements have been made. I will wait here during Anshi's surgery. Young master, you should go back and rest. The man sits in the hallway. No, I'm staying here. The doctor said it's all thanks to Anshi. I only suffered minor injuries. She shielded me from the window glass. It was also thanks to her that I could make the emergency call. That's how we were saved. If it weren't for Anshi this time, I'm afraid I would have. I thought I had already gotten used to a life of not being able to see. I never thought that at a critical moment, I would be so useless. The man slams his fist hard on the chair. The butler says, young master, you don't have to blame yourself for this accident. It was mainly Butler whose dereliction of duty. He didn't inspect the vehicle properly before departure. The man speaks. Old you. This driver who? Investigate him more thoroughly. Gene Ewing asks the butler to investigate. Driver who? Is he suspecting something? At this moment, his phone suddenly rings. A woman's voice comes from the phone. Ewing, I heard you were in a car accident. Mom, I'm fine. The voice continues. I just heard the news. I was worried to death. Are you all right? Just a fractured hand. What? As long as you're okay. For such a major accident, you only got a fracture. You're really lucky. Jean Yuing continues. Let's not talk about this. How's my dad? He's fine. No major issues. He can be discharged tomorrow. It's a relief that both you and your father are safe. Looking at the operating room door, the voice on the phone continues. I was too flustered. As soon as I heard about your father, I rushed you to come back. If not for that, you wouldn't have been in an accident. The man says with his head down, I know it's not your fault. On the other end, it's good that you're okay. Otherwise, I would feel guilty. The light of the operating room suddenly turns off. The man quickly says, okay, Mom. I'm hanging up. There's movement from the operating room. I have to go see. The man gets up and walks towards the operating room door. Operating room. The woman hears these 3 words and hurriedly asks, oh, right, the driver of your car. Before she could finish, the call was already disconnected. Meanwhile, Anchi has been unconscious for an unknown amount of time. She dreams of her parents. She was still very young then, with her mom and dad by her side. Suddenly, with a loud rumble, the ground begins to crack. Her parents turn and fall into the fractured earth. She loses her parents again. Don't leave me. Anchi cries out desperately, trying to hold them back. Don't leave me. The man standing by the bed touches Anchi's face with his hand. Tears. What is she dreaming about? He softly calls her name, Anchi. Anchi slowly opens her eyes. Mr. Jean. Anchi, you're awake. Anchi looks around with a gasp. This is a hospital. How do we get here? Don't rush. Drink some water first. After speaking, Jean Yuing pours her a glass of water. Anchi seems to remember. That's right. We were in a car accident. The moment she moves, she feels an excruciating pain. It hurts so much. Your injuries are severe. Don't move. The man hands her the water. Here, drink. What's this? You're pouring water for me. You don't want to drink it? Anchi's eyes widen. What is going on? Why is this damn pervert suddenly being so nice to me? Anchi looks suspiciously at the man pouring her water, wondering if he was knocked silly. The man says impatiently, cut the nonsense. Do you want to drink the water or not? Anchi doesn't know how to answer. Seeing her silence, the man continues, or do you want me to feed you mouth to mouth? The man reveals a wicked smile. Anchi's head aches. No. The moment she moves, a sharp pain shoots through her body. It hurts. The man quickly says, idiot, I told you not to move. After speaking, he picks up the water and drinks it himself. Anchi watches the man drink the water alone, completely bewildered. What kind of move is this? But the next second, the man leans down, his mouth towards hers. Anchi is flustered, her face flushing red. Just then, the door is pushed open. A woman walks in. Xiaoying, are you feeling better? The people who just entered see this scene and are very embarrassed. The man covers his face in embarrassment. Mom, you're here. A graceful and elegant woman says, you must be Miss Lin Anchi. I heard you saved Yuing, so I came specially to thank you. Anchi quickly says, oh no, I didn't do anything. The woman turns to the man and says, Xiaoying, I'm relieved to see you're okay. I specially made some chicken soup for you both to recuperate. The people who came in are holding flowers, food containers, and fruits. All sorts of get-well gifts. Anchi quickly expresses her thanks. I'm so touched. Thank you for your trouble, madam. The lady reaches out to touch the man's injured arm. Oh. Does your hand still hurt? It's nothing. It doesn't hurt anymore. The man quickly pulls his hand away in disgust. The lady says sadly, your father is very worried about you. Once you're better, go home and see him. I know. The man then says, your father needs to take his medicine soon. I should go. The man reminds her, it's easy to get into an accident on the road. Tell the driver to be careful. The lady is speechless. She can only say, you take care too. Drink the chicken soup while it's hot. The clueless Lin Anchi is still thinking, the lady is so good to Jean Yuing. Even though she's a stepmother, she takes such good care of him. As the lady leaves, she doesn't forget to greet her, Miss Lin. Goodbye. Goodbye, madam. The door to the hospital room closes. The man says helplessly, so fake. Anchi has a dark expression. This guy is so ungrateful. The man picks up the food container. What's the point of bringing chicken soup? It's practically poison. He's about to throw it away. Anchi quickly calls out, wait, what are you trying to do? Throw it away. Stop. If you're not going to eat it, give it to me. How can you waste food? As a foodie, how could she let such delicious food go to waste? The man sneers, this chicken soup is poisoned. You dare to drink it. How could it be poisoned? You must have a persecution complex. Even in a palace drama, they wouldn't poison someone like this. Hey, don't throw it away. You bastard. I was injured on the job. It's bad enough you're not compensating me, but you won't even let me have a sip of chicken soup? The man throws the food container into the trash can. Hearing Anchi's words, The man says, don't worry. I will compensate you. Seeing the man's expression, Anchi immediately feels a chill that he's a damn pervert. Nothing good ever happens when he smiles like that. The man lifts Anchi's chin, smiling, I will take care of you for the rest of your life. After speaking, he leans in for a kiss. Will Anchi be kissed by the man? A knock comes from the door. Mr. Jean, it's time for your checkup. Such bad timing. I was just about to take it a step further. You wait here obediently. I'll be back soon. Anchi sits on the bed in a daze. Take care of me for life? He's just teasing me with such ambiguous words. Zio still doesn't know I'm injured. I need to give him a call. She picks up her phone and sees it's completely broken. Anchi sighs and walks out of the room. There should be a public phone around here. Where is it? Somehow, she is suddenly bumped into, ouch. A sound of things falling to the ground is heard. She almost falls herself. Suddenly, a pair of hands steadies her. A voice sounds by her ear, miss. Are you all right? Anchi quickly apologizes. I'm sorry. I wasn't looking where I was going. No, it was my fault. You're still injured. I hope I didn't hurt you. No, I'm fine. Anchi thinks, what a gentle person. Thank goodness I didn't run into that guy. An image of Jean Ying appears in her mind. Anchi quickly squats down to pick up the fruit. I'm so sorry for knocking over your fruit basket. It's okay, it's okay. I'll get it. The boy reaches out to pick them up. Anchi says guiltily, I'm sorry. I ruined such a beautiful fruit basket. Let me buy you a new one. The boy quickly says, thank you for your kindness. But there's no need. Anchi asks, puzzled, oh why? The boy mutters to himself, he won't accept it anyway. I've hurt him. He probably doesn't want to see me. Anchi says, you're so gentle. Would you make a girl sad too? You don't seem the type. The boy smiles, haha. It's not a girl. It's my older brother. I have a younger brother too. He's much dumber than you and doesn't care about me. But in my heart, he's still my most adorable, albeit foolish and thoughtless, little brother. You don't have to worry too much. I think your brother will definitely forgive you, as long as you sincerely apologize to him. It seems you're a good older sister. Hey, you flatter me. The boy thinks, will my brother really forgive me? He used to be so gentle with me too. The boy recalls his childhood. His brother always protected him, not letting anyone bully him. If it weren't for that incident, the boy's thoughts drift back to a few years ago. One time, he was walking on a staircase. A wooden plank suddenly slipped. Brother. He quickly ran over and pushed him away. Move. It's dangerous. The next second, the plank crashed down on him. His brother collapsed in a pool of blood. After that, his eyes could never see again. Since then, his personality became more and more withdrawn. My brother was supposed to be a child of destiny, but he was seriously injured because of me. Our relationship can never go back to the way it was. My brother resents me more and more. Maybe he will never forgive me in this lifetime. And she tries to console him. Actually, my brother has done many unreasonable things to me too. Although I don't know your brother well, I can somewhat understand his situation. He doesn't truly hate you, but he's been hurt psychologically. I think he's like a hedgehog right now. He craves a hug, but will hurt anyone who gets close. Yes, he is exactly like that. So you should endure the sting from his wounded shell and try to get closer to him. Thank you. I'll try. Suddenly, a man's voice calls out, Anchi, what did you run off to? Oh no. The boy also turns his head at the sound. Anchi quickly says, I'm sorry, I have to go. Wait, this fruit basket is for you. Thank you for helping me resolve a knot in my heart that's been there for years. I'm leaving now. Anchi is puzzled. Isn't he going to visit his brother? The man's voice echoes in the hallway again. Anchi. Anchi quickly runs over. Coming. The man says, didn't I tell you not to run around? You stop shouting. This is a hospital. The departing boy thinks, brother, I hope I have the courage to speak to you next time we meet. If a man is suddenly overly attentive to you, what does it mean? The man strokes Anchi's face, asking with concern, where did you go? Why did you run off? Anchi looks at him. It seems like he's concerned about me. Is it my imagination? Anchi supports him as they walk towards the room, saying, I wanted to call my brother. Also, school is starting soon, and I can't be discharged. I need to request a leave of absence from school. Hearing Anchi's words, the man's eyes widen. School is starting? Could it be? Anchi looks at him. Why does his face suddenly look so grim? Is he going to have another fit? The man's face darkens. I almost forgot you're just working for me here. After school starts, she will leave me. The man's heart aches. He reaches out to stroke Anchi's face. He says softly, I'll take care of these things for you. You don't have to worry about anything. Anchi is touched by his words. Thank you. Has he really changed for the better? Has his conscience been pricked? Go back to your room and rest. He reaches out to take Anchi's hand, but his hand touches something else. What is this? He grips Anchi's hand tightly. Anchi quickly replies, it's a fruit basket. The man glares. Who gave it to you? Let go of my hand first. You're hurting me. This pervert. I just thought he had gotten better. Quick, tell me who gave it to you. And she explains, it was a stranger just now. He just gave it to me. The man asks suspiciously, a stranger? Why would he give you a gift basket? And she replies, I accidentally knocked over his basket. He didn't blame me and even gave it to me. He's such a nice person, unlike a certain someone who loves to throw tantrums. Hearing the words knocked over, the man immediately becomes agitated. He quickly lifts Anshi's hand, stroking it and saying, You're not hurt, are you? I was just too worried about you. I was anxious and my tone was a bit harsh. Anshi is puzzled. Wait a minute. Angry one moment, concerned the next. Could this guy have fallen for me? But then she remembers the scene of him being intimate with another woman. How much of his affection is real? To him, I'm probably just a new toy. A few days later, they're finally discharged from the hospital. Although their injuries haven't fully healed, it doesn't affect their daily lives. My contract with Jean Yui is canceled because of this accident. It's a blessing in disguise, I suppose. Starting today, I'm going back to school. It's also the day I officially resign from my job at the Jean family. Time to go to my room, pack my things, and get ready to leave this place. And she pushes open the door. The scene before her leaves her stunned. Pink curtains greet her eyes. Roses on the bed. And Jean Yui. I'm sorry. I went into the wrong room. And she quickly backs out and closes the door. But wait, this is my room. What's going on? Realizing this, Anshi re-enters the room. The man looks at her. Are you silly? I prepared this especially for you. What do you think? Do you like it? Anshi is speechless. The man walks towards her. Anshi says nervously, What were you doing? The man walks up to Anshi with the flowers. This is for you. Anshi takes the flowers in a daze. Thank you. If you like it. Before the man can finish his sentence, Anshi starts sneezing. She says hurriedly, I'm allergic to pollen. I'm sorry. If a man suddenly gives you flowers, what does it mean? Anshi holds the roses and says regretfully, The moment I smell roses, I start sneezing. I'm allergic to them. The man snatches the flowers from Anshi's hand and throws them out. Why didn't you say so earlier? Then he takes Anshi's hand. Then let's go out now. The room is full of roses. He pulls Anshi to go outside. Anshi quickly says, I'll wait. But the next second, the man's knee hits a chair. The two of them fall down unexpectedly. What's more embarrassing is that Anshi lands right on the man's chest. It's the first time Anshi has seen him this close. This pervert is more handsome than a celebrity. Anshi pinches her own cheek hard. What are you thinking? No matter how handsome he is, it has nothing to do with you. While Anshi is still in a daze, a voice snaps her back to reality. Is the human sofa comfortable? How much longer do you plan on lying here? Anshi quickly gets up. I'm sorry. She hastily helps him up. They hear the man say, Someone come. A maid walks over. The man orders, Get rid of all the roses in the room and clean the room thoroughly. The maid says, confused, but you specifically instructed us to decorate it like this before. You seem quite satisfied with it. Get rid of it. Anshi looks at the man and asks hesitantly, Did you prepare all of this just for me? It's a gift for you, to repay you for saving my life. Anshi is very happy. It's so beautiful. Thank you. And she starts sneezing again. The man smiles fondly and says, You better not force yourself. Anshi is in such a good mood that she starts joking with him. This is the first time I've seen you smile. It's much better than your usual perverted look. Perverted? So that's how you see me. Seeing the man's expression, Anshi immediately chickens out. She quickly says, Oh, no. You heard wrong. The man says with a mischievous smile, All right, I'll show you what a pervert is. He pulls Anshi's hand and walks outside. Anshi quickly says, I was wrong. Too late. Come with me. They arrive in the courtyard. They see fireworks blooming across the starry sky. Oh, you like it? Wow. It's so beautiful. And she points to one of them and says, Look at that firework. But when she turns back, she sees the man's impassive face. Then she remembers, I forgot he can't see. And she quickly explains, I'm sorry. The man doesn't mind. It's fine. As long as you like it. The two of them stand silently under the night sky, watching the fireworks. The man thinks, if I could see, I could watch the fireworks with her. I could also see her happy face. Inside the new residence, the man is drinking coffee. A knock comes from the door. A man's voice is heard. Young Master Jean, I'm here for your regular checkup. Is it convenient for me to come in? The man glances at him. When has it ever been inconvenient for you to come here? The blonde man teases. Didn't I interrupt you last time? So you do know. The blonde man asks again, where's that pretty girl from last time? She went out to run some errands. The blonde man says with some regret, TSK. No beauties to see today. Jean Yuing seems to remember something. By the way, Tang Fei Bai, what about that surgery you mentioned before? That surgery is still in the experimental stage. However, the 2 patients who have successfully undergone the experiment have shown no side effects so far. Jean Yuing continues to ask, how long does this surgery take? What's the recovery period? There are 10 cycles in total. Those who recover will only need half a year. He suddenly asks curiously, when I told you about it before, you always found me annoying. Why are you so eager now? Is it because of that little beauty? Jean Yuing explains, it's not because of her. It's just that some things have happened recently. Tang Fei Bai slaps the man on the shoulder. Just keep being stubborn. Jean Yuing continues to himself. I can't be blind for the rest of my life, can I? All right, I'll help you arrange the surgery. But once it's arranged, you'll have to go abroad immediately. You need to make some preparations. Preparations? The man asks, confused, prepare to capture the heart of that pretty girl of yours. The man says, what are you talking about? I don't understand. Tang Fei Bai has a dark expression that I say, young Master Jean, are you really stupid or just pretending? You're going abroad for over half a year. Aren't you afraid such a great girl will run off? Cool me. Let me teach you. What will he teach him? Find out in the next episode. Anchi, who is washing up, is suddenly hugged from behind. The man lowers his head and whispers her name in her ear. Anchi blushes beet red. What do you want? She has a bad feeling. Why is he suddenly like this? Is he flirting with me? Jean Yuing rests his head on her shoulder, asking softly, tell me, do we look like a good match? No, we don't match. Anchi says in a panic, what? The man holds her in his arms. Anchi thinks, oh no, he's going to fly into a rage again. She quickly explains that, what I mean is I'm not good enough for you. You're so rich, and I'm deep in debt. Silly girl. Besides the money issue, look again. Anchi thinks, how could we possibly be together? He's handsome and rich. Just by sitting there, he attracts countless women. And me? At best, I'm just a plaything in his heart. Anchi thinks, I should just humor this young master for now. Otherwise, he really won't let me go. Having made up her mind, she speaks. If we're just talking about looks, we're a great match. Hearing this, the corners of the man's mouth curl up in satisfaction. He hugs Anchi tightly. Seeing his expression, she blushes and thinks, he's really handsome when he smiles. Is this how other girls fall into his trap? Reason pulls her back, and oh, I can't fall any deeper. I need to get out while I still can. She quickly says, young master, there's something else I want to tell you. What is it? Go ahead. My school vacation is over. I have to go back to school when the semester starts. The man grabs her shoulders angrily. You want to leave? And she quickly says, but I can't just drop out of school. I'll be a senior next semester. Although the coursework isn't heavy, there are still some required classes I must complete. Then I'll give you a vacation. And she is confused. The man continues, you can go back to school during your vacation, but you must live here. What? No way. This place is too far from school. It takes 3 bus transfers to get there. I'll have the driver take you. Any other problems? The man leans closer and closer to her. And she is speechless. And no more problems. Then it's settled. You attend classes during the day and continue your caregiving work at night. The man thinks with a smug look, I'm so considerate. She'll definitely be grateful to me. On the other side, Anchi is filled with resentment. Damn capitalist. On the first day of school, a luxury car pulls up to the school gate, attracting discussion from all the students. A girl gets out of the car, making everyone's eyes widen. How is it her? She doesn't look rich from her clothes. Could she be one of those? Hearing the crowd's gossip, Anchi feels helpless. She turns to say goodbye to the driver and reminds him to pick her up at the side gate in the evening. She doesn't want to be the center of attention again. Being the center of a topic for the first time is really a complicated feeling. Suddenly, a voice from behind calls out to her. Anchi, long time no see. Who could it be? Anchi, who came to school in a luxury car, is suddenly called out too. When she sees the person greeting her, she is instantly at a loss for words. She doesn't care if others misunderstand, but she can't let her senior misunderstand. Having lost both her parents, she has endured a lot of ridicule. Only her senior has always been gentle and helpful to her. She can't let him down. So she says nervously, don't get the wrong idea. The senior smiles and replies, what wrong idea would I get? Anchi lowers her head and mumbles, misunderstand me. The senior reaches out and pats Anchi's head. He comforts her, I know you wouldn't do that kind of thing. I believe you. Anchi looks at him quietly. The senior looks at the uneasy Anchi. Let's go. Let's go to the library to do our research project. Following behind the senior, Anchi is very moved. A sweet sense of happiness fills her heart. Thank goodness the senior believes me. They go to the library to work on their project. Senior Han is the group leader. At this moment, Senior Han walks towards her and gives her a bottle of water. Drink some water. Replenish your energy. Don't get too tired. Anchi takes the water and looks at him, thinking the senior is so gentle. A guy of similar age, but that perverted young master is completely different. Looking at her classmate, Anchi suddenly snaps out of it. Wait, what am I thinking? Why did I suddenly think of that pervert? By the time they walk out of the library, it's already dark. The senior takes out his phone to check the time, that it's already so late. I'm about to miss the last bus. At this moment, Anchi sees Uncle Wang's car. The senior continues, "Oh, I forgot you have a car to pick you up. I have to catch the last bus, or I'll be sleeping on the street." After speaking, he waves goodbye to Anchi. Anchi hesitates whether to call him back. It doesn't seem right to give him a ride in that pervert's car. But so late. What if the senior misses the last bus? Anchi struggles with the decision, but finally speaks up. "Why don't you come with me?" The senior looks at her. "This isn't your car. Is it appropriate?" "It's fine. It's on the way." Anchi thinks, "I'm just borrowing it for a bit. That pervert won't be that petty, right?" Anchi is in a good mood, singing as she returns home. She doesn't notice the man sitting in the corner. "You're back so late." The man's voice comes through. Anchi is startled. "Young Master Jean, what are you doing here?" The man says impatiently, "I was waiting for you to have dinner." "What time is it now?" Anchi can't believe he was actually waiting for her. She quickly replies, "Oh, I'm sorry. I was working on a research project tonight, so I'm late. My coursework will be quite busy recently, so I probably won't be able to join you for dinner anymore." The man glares at her. "What did you say?" The man slams the table and stands up. "How dare you?" Anchi trembles. It's over. This pervert is going to fly into a rage again. So scary. Is he going to hit me? Anchi waits for the storm to hit. But he actually walked away. What's with this lunatic? Anchi is about to take a shower, her mind constantly thinking about Jean Yuing, and I really don't get him. One moment he's crazily nice to me, the next he's throwing a random tantrum. At this moment, the door to the room is suddenly pushed open. Seeing Jean Yuing walk in. "What are you doing here?" The man sneers, "A man and a woman alone. What do you think we can do?" I'm calling the police." She turns to run. The man quickly stops her, reaching out to grab her. Anchi loses her balance and falls to the ground. The man uses his hand to support her head, leaning over her. Trying to escape? Not so easy. "You let me go. I let my driver take you, but you had my driver take your senior." Anchi quickly explains, "There were no buses at night, and it was on the way." "On the way? Anchi, who gave you permission to be together?" The man says angrily, "I'm such a fool for waiting for you to come back for dinner." The man presses down on Anchi's hands even harder. Anchi feels a sharp pain. "You're a pervert. Let me go. You're hurting me." Hearing Anchi's words, the man's face darkens even more. "Pervert? You've always thought I was a pervert, right? Today, I'll show you what a pervert is." He leans in to kiss Anchi. Anchi looks at him helplessly. He's angry, as expected. "I really shouldn't have used his car without permission. But he can't insult me like this. What does he take me for?" Tears stream from the corners of Anchi's eyes. The man's lips suddenly feel a sting. "You dare to bite me?" He quickly pulls away. "If you're not willing, you don't have to assign a driver for me. You don't have to insult me like this." The man feels humiliated. "I can manage without your driver, but I must complete my own studies. And you have no right to stop me from being with my senior." Hearing these words, the man's heart clenches. He roars, "If I say no, it's no." Anchi retorts, "I'm not your toy. What right do you have to control my life?" "Lin Anchi, don't forget that all your money comes from me. You took my money, so you must listen to me. It's always about money. I thought you had changed. It seems a leopard can't change its spots." "Jean Yuing, I'm so disappointed in you. You have nothing but money." The man is silent. "You're right. I only have money left." He turns and leaves. Anchi cries silently in grievance. "That bastard. He treats me completely like a toy. And I actually considered the possibility of us being together. How ridiculous." One early morning, Anchi leaves alone, pulling her luggage. The butler comes to report to the man, "Young master, Lin Anchi. Before the butler can finish, the man says to himself, I know. He moves to the window and stares outside. Will Anchi come back? In the library, Anchi stares out the window in a daze. The senior sitting opposite her says, Anchi, have you finished organizing that data? Anchi seems not to hear, still lost in thought. The senior waves a hand in front of her eyes. Anchi, are you okay? The senior asks, puzzled, what's been wrong with you lately? You're always spacing out. Anchi lowers her head, but I'm fine. In her heart, she's thinking, what is that pervert doing now? It's been over 10 days since I left the Gene residence. He hasn't contacted me. He really doesn't care about me at all. Are you sick? You look so pale. The senior's hand reaches towards her. Anchi quickly dodges. The senior's hand freezes in midair. How awkward. Anchi quickly apologizes. Thank you for your concern, senior. I'm fine. It's good that you're fine. Ha. The senior also laughs awkwardly. He reminds her to take care of herself. Anchi is grateful they're both men. But the senior is so gentle. If only Jean Yuing could be like this. Anchi sighs, the image of Jean Yuing's brutal behavior flashing her mind. And oh no, I can't think about him anymore. At night, Anchi lies in bed, tossing and turning that I left without saying goodbye. Was that the wrong thing to do? I should at least call and apologize. At this moment, two versions of herself appear in her mind. The angel speaks first, go, and apologize. You said hurtful things to him. Besides, he's disabled. The devil appears and retorts, don't apologize. It's not your fault. He's the one who bullies people with his power. The angel says, but he had a reason to be angry that day. You used his car to take your senior without permission. The devil retorts, but that doesn't mean he should do something so outrageous. Absolutely do not apologize. I did nothing wrong. I can't let him continue to bully me. At this moment, Jean Yuing is preparing to go abroad for his eye treatment. He sits at a desk, and the scent of roses wafts over. He knocks the vase to the ground, roaring, who told you to put roses here? What's wrong? You don't like them? I don't like them. I hate roses the most. Tang Feibai picks up the flower from the floor. It's not the flower you hate, is it? It's because you're reminded of her. The man turns his back to him. Don't mention this to me again. Tang Feibai teases, what? Weren't you two so lovey-dovey before? Did you have a fight? You, young master, still have such low EQ. Girls need to be coaxed. The man's face darkens. Shut up and replace the flowers. Tang Feibai asks, puzzled, what's wrong with you? Your temper is getting worse and worse. This isn't good for your treatment. The man yells, if you say one more word, I'll replace you too. Tang Feibai is confused. What's wrong with you? Why is the man suddenly throwing such a huge tantrum? Tang Feibai is helpless. I think before you treat your eyes, you should get your brain checked first. This idiot is driving me crazy. How did I end up with a friend like him? Right now, the only one who can cure this lunatic is her. He picks up his phone. Anchi's phone suddenly rings. A voice comes from a phone. It's me, Tang Feibai. Jean Yuing misses you. Can you give him a call? Hearing this, the pen in Anchi's hand almost falls to the floor. Mr. Tang, what kind of joke is this? Hey, I know you two had a fight. It's hard to explain over the phone. Are you free later? I'll pick you up from school. When she meets Tang Feibai, Anchi says, I will absolutely not apologize to him. It seems you're really mad at him. He actually likes you a lot. It's just, you know his terrible temper. Hearing this, Anchi says helplessly, you don't have to speak up for him. In any case, I will absolutely not apologize. He's also at fault, but he's sick. You should be more tolerant. Hearing that he's sick, Anchi is very surprised. Seeing her expression, Tang Feibai thinks to himself, she does care about him. I knew I came to the right person. Tang Feibai continues, you don't know. This period is very important for him. He's preparing for his eye treatment recently, but he had a surgery before that ended in failure. If this surgery isn't successful, he'll never have the chance to see the light again in his life. He was unwilling to get treatment before because he didn't want to shatter his last hope. But 2 days ago, he suddenly told me he was willing to try again. I know it was you who made him change his mind. Anchi is confused. Me? I don't have that kind of power. You must be mistaken. He really hates me. I've been friends with Jean Yuing for so many years, and I've never seen him so heartbroken over any girl like he is with you. I'm begging you, please go see him. He's been in a very bad mood lately, which is not conducive to his treatment. Right now, you're the only one who can make him feel better. At the eye center, Anchi arrives with an uneasy heart. She thinks of Tang Feibai's words. Jean Yuing? He really about me? How is that possible? But what if it's true? If I just ignore it, I might cause him to lose his sight forever. He's under a lot of pressure. It's understandable that he'd be irritable and short-tempered. Tang Feibai gives her a thumbs up from behind. Anchi knocks gently on the door. Jin Yuing is by the window and hears the sound. Anchi pushes the door open and says softly, it's me. The man hears that it's Anchi. What are you doing here? He turns his head away from her. Seeing him like this, Anchi says meekly, Mr. Tang asked me to come. I heard you're having surgery soon. What's that got to do with you? Why are you like this? I wanted to show my concern. Concern for me? You should just be concerned about your senior. Why bother being concerned about me? What will happen next? The female lead is harassed by thugs, but no one dares to step forward and stop them. At this moment, a car arrives. A group of people get out. An elderly man walks over. Young man, forcing a decent girl into prostitution in broad daylight is a bit too audacious. The man in sunglasses looks at him. Who the hell are you? Meddling in other people's business. Before he can finish his sentence, he is punched to the ground. The elder's bodyguard says, watch your mouth, or we'll beat all of you up. The man in sunglasses is also from the streets. Seeing the situation, his tone becomes more amicable. He grabs Anchi's collar. Look carefully. They owe me money. Not much, 50,000. The elder directly throws 50,000 yuan at the man in sunglasses. He tells them to take the money and leave. The man in sunglasses doesn't dawdle and leaves with his men. The onlookers start discussing. This gentleman is such a good person. The siblings have finally met a benefactor. These thugs are so despicable. Anchi quickly gets up to check on Zio's injuries. The elder walks towards them. Are you two all right? Can you still stand? The elder extends a hand to Anchi. Thank you, sir. We really owe you today. We'll pay back the money as soon as possible. Please leave your contact information. Zio suddenly says to Anchi, sis, do you have any money left? I need to go to the hospital. I'm about to die. Anchi is furious. Zio sees this. Sis, it really hurts. The elder walks over to look at Zio that he is indeed seriously injured. I'll take him to the hospital. Anchi quickly says, how can we impose? We can't trouble you anymore. It's no trouble. If you're going to help all the way. The elder readily agrees. Zio, on the other hand, is quite forward. Sis, since we already owe them, what's a little more for medical fees? Besides, sis, you should go change your clothes. It's hard to say if the female lead's luck is good or bad. First, she's bullied by thugs. Then someone comes to her rescue. The elder drapes his suit jacket over Anchi's shoulders. Don't worry. If we wanted to harm you siblings, we wouldn't have saved you just now. Looking at the elder's kind eyes, Anchi quickly explains, that's not what I meant. Hearing Anchi say this, Zio directly waves goodbye to him. The elder continues, miss, you should go home and change first. Can I give you a ride home? Anchi looks at him gratefully. Not at all. Thanks to you today, I should be the one inviting you to my home. The group arrives at Anchi's home. Anchi quickly pours him tea. The elder asks, is it just you and your brother at home? MHM, yes. Our parents have passed away. It's just me and my brother, depending on each other. The elder asks with concern, this brother of yours, he seems to get into trouble often, doesn't he? It must be hard on you. He's not a bad person at heart. He's just momentarily confused. Before my father passed away, he entrusted Zio to me. I'm the one who hasn't taken good care of him. The elder looks at Anchi. You look so much alike. So much alike. I have a daughter about your age. Seeing you reminds me of her. With a father as good as you, she must be very happy. No, I'm not a good father. How could that be? You're so handsome, kind, and upright. I'm not as perfect as you think. I've done many foolish things too. I owe her too much. I made a huge mistake when I was young. That's when I abandoned her. Now, she doesn't even know she has a father like me. She has never seen me since she was born. For so many years, I have never fulfilled my duties as a father. I don't deserve to be her father. You're so remorseful because you love your daughter. You must have had your own difficulties to do something like that. I believe your daughter will understand. Is that what you think? Yes. And having one more father who loves her, she would be so happy. And you're such a good girl. Hee, you flatter me. I've enjoyed chatting with you. This is my business card. I hope you have time to come and see me. Don't get the wrong idea. I have no other intentions. I just see you as my daughter. My daughter is about your age, and you look very much alike. I can find some comfort in you. I won't disturb you any longer today. Goodbye for now. What would you consider a romantic, noble, and one-of-a-kind New Year's gift? On Valentine's Day evening, inside the Jean residence, the butler and servants are decorating the room. One moment it's Christmas, the next it's New Year's. Why are there so many holidays to celebrate? The busy butler hears the young master call him. Young master, you didn't go out for Valentine's Day? The man clears his throat to hide his embarrassment and asks if I want to pursue a girl, but I missed Christmas, New Year's, and Valentine's Day. What other occasion is there to give her a gift? I was so busy recently, and you didn't even remind me. This counts as your dereliction of duty. Hearing this, the butler trembles with fear. This is my fault too? The man continues, you must help me think of a solution. I missed so many romantic holidays. It's almost the Lantern Festival. Wouldn't it be strange to give a gift then? The young master has really fallen for her this time, to be considering these things so seriously. Young master, as long as you are sincere, any time and any gift is good. The man disagrees with his statement that you're being too perfunctory this time. The butler suggests another idea. I think the more valuable, the better. It should align with the girl's idea of romance, nobility, and being one of a kind. One day, Anchi comes to the Jean residence. The butler tells her, Miss Anchi, the young master has already carefully selected a New Year's gift for you. You should look forward to it. Anchi looks skeptical that he's specially selected a gift for me. What could it be? On New Year's Eve, Zio has run off to who knows where. Not wanting to be lonely, Anchi naturally chooses to spend the new year at Jean Yuing's house. When Jean Yuing sees Anchi, he complains that the butler has a big mouth. He wanted to give her a surprise. Come to my room tonight to get your gift, but don't you dare peek beforehand. Anchi is puzzled. What could it be? So mysterious. She pushes open the door and sees this. Jean Yuing is lounging on the bed. This is the gift I'm giving you. The romantic, noble, and one-of-a-kind me. Anchi is speechless. This gift is really... Can I request a return? The man pulls her what? You don't like it? Of course I like it. Oomph, that's more like it. Then what about your return gift? Return gift? I'm sorry, I haven't prepared one. Silly girl, you don't need to prepare anything. All I want is a kiss from you. The following scene is a bit steamy, so let's skip it. In the second month of Jean Yuing's trip abroad, Anchi receives news that his surgery was successful. Although he still needs some time to recuperate, he can finally return home. Today is the day of his return. The school bell rings. Anchi packs her school bag. I must go to the Jean residence early today. I haven't seen him in so long. Anchi has just walked out of the school gate. She looks up and sees him. It's him. A handsome man is standing by the school gate with a luxury car, attracting a crowd of onlookers. Anchi quickly runs over. Jean Yuing, what are you doing here? You just got back. You should be resting at home. Are your eyes better? Anchi raises her hand and waves it in front of his eyes, but he doesn't react. They probably haven't fully recovered yet. Then you shouldn't be running around. It's crowded here. What if you get bumped into? Who would dare to bump into me? What if other people don't know your eyes are bad? Hey, you didn't drive here yourself, did you? Where's the driver? Seeing her like this, the man strokes her head with his hand. You worry too much. Relax. We haven't seen each other in so long. Of course, I can't let a driver ruin our time alone. You're just a smooth talker. The man takes out a box, got a gift for you. I brought it back from abroad. See if you like it. Anchi looks at the gift box, surprised. You brought me a gift? She opens the box. It's a necklace from a famous brand, and a limited edition at that. It must be very expensive. I've never received such a valuable gift. As long as you like it. But such an expensive necklace, it doesn't seem appropriate for me to wear it. Hearing this, the man's fists tighten. What? You don't like it? Anchi quickly explains, no, that's not what I mean. Of course I like it. The man says domineeringly, if you like it, then accept it. It's my gift to you. Who dares say it's not appropriate? All right, then I'll accept it. Anchi says happily, I'll wear it for you to see when your eyes are better. Let's go. Come home with me. He thinks to himself, so this is what the girl I like looks like. Back at the Jean residence, the man hugs Anchi. Hurry up and change into your work uniform and come to my room. Anchi's face turns beet red. What are you doing? What are you thinking? I'm telling you to get to work. You're still my caregiver, you know. Of course I know. You're already trying to enslave me the moment you get back. What a wicked capitalist. You don't sound happy. It seems you were really expecting me to do something to you. Anchi quickly smiles fawningly. How could that be? Well then, young master, I'll go change. Seeing the man after so long, she thought he might have changed. But Anchi changes her clothes. Young master, I'm here. The moment she pushes the door open, her hand is grabbed by the man. The man pins her against the wall. What? What are you going to do? Close your eyes. What? Guess. The man looks at her. Why aren't you talking? No, nothing. I just want you to help me bathe like before. Why are you so nervous? I'm not nervous. The man opens his arms. Come here and help me undress. He soaks in a bathtub. Anchi scrubs his back that you're so far away. How can you wash properly? Anchi is a bit embarrassed that I'm fine here. Better get a little closer. As soon as he finishes speaking, Anchi is pulled into the bathtub. Soaking wet, she looks at the man. The man teases, haha, this is great. Why don't you just wash with me? Anchi is truly angry with him this time. She ignores him. All right, don't be angry. How about I wash you? Anchi pushes him away. Stop fooling around. You'll catch a cold. Really, once you've recovered, I won't be helping you bathe anymore. Haha, then I'd better recover slowly. Don't you want to see again sooner? See again? Anchi, actually The man looks at Anchi and can't help but swallow. He turns his head and swallows the words he was about to say. Anchi is puzzled at what's going on. So mysterious. The two people in the bathtub are unsure how to end this awkward situation when Anchi's phone suddenly rings. She picks up the phone. Hello? Senior, is there another problem with the thesis? Okay, I'll revise it again. All right, I'll be right there. Jean Ewing, who is beside her, asks, who called you? My senior. He said there's a small problem with the thesis. I have to go back to school. The man is displeased. You just can't be away from him. What nonsense are you talking about? This affects my credits. I'm going to. Anchi looks at him, puzzled. He pulls Anchi into his arms that I said, I'm going to. That's not a good idea. Outsiders aren't allowed in the school library. I'm a shareholder. But Anchi wants to say more. The man gets angry. Are you that afraid of me going? Anchi quickly explains, no. Your eyes haven't fully recovered yet. It's crowded there. I'm afraid you'll get bumped into by someone. Hearing her say this, the man's tone softened a lot. It'll be fine as long as you're there. But I can't keep watching you all the time. The man gently stroked Anchi's head. If you keep nagging, I'll dock your pay. Anchi thought to herself that it was better not to confront him head on. I don't want him to dock my pay. I still have to pay back Mr. Fong. The two arrived at the school library. Just as they sat down, a female classmate ran over to Anchi. Is this your boyfriend? He's so handsome. Anchi quickly said no. How could he not be? If he wasn't, would he be here with you working on your thesis project? Just then, a senior classmate called out to her, Anchi, please process this material. Anchi, I'm thirsty, Jean Ewing said suddenly. Anchi was helpless. The thesis was already giving her a massive headache, and now she had to take care of this young master. The senior classmate brought a bottle of water to her. Anchi, you've been working hard. Have some water. Jean Ewing, who was watching from the side, saw everything. With a gloomy face, he thought to himself, showing such unsolicited kindness, he must have ulterior motives. That creepy smile, he's clearly not a good person. Anchi, come here. Anchi shot up to her feet, suppressing the anger at her heart. Young master, are you thirsty, hungry, or are your legs and back aching? The man handed her the water. I think you must be thirsty. Anchi looked at him, wondering what was going on. His smile was different from usual. The female classmate from the side whispered to her, Anchi, you're so slow. Your boyfriend is jealous. Meanwhile, Jean Ewing spouted nonsense. How could I be jealous? This young master was just worried she was too tired to work later. Anchi looked at him. You look so amusing when you're jealous. You look so handsome when you smile. Thank you for the compliment. After saying that, Anchi felt something was wrong. Wait, you can see now? What would you do if you were deceived by someone and suddenly learned the truth? Anchi cried sadly. Do you think it's fun to lie to me? Do you have any idea how worried I was? Do you think it's fun to trick me? You liar. After saying this, Anchi turned and ran away. Jean Ewing hurriedly ran out to chase her, but he couldn't find her anywhere. Tang Fei Bai came to see him. Still haven't found that pretty girl? Let's see if you'll keep acting up in the future. Your parents have been looking for you like crazy lately. Should I tell them where you are? Young master, I beg you, spare this lowly one's life. At a time like this, you should do whatever it takes to find her. For example, kidnap her brother. She would definitely not be happy about that. Not bad. You've gained some awareness. How rare. Are you trying to make me call your parents and have them drag you back? Don't. But then again, if you had this awareness earlier, why would she still be angry? If you laugh again, I'll throw you out. You leave me no choice but to be disloyal. I found out. Her brother is at a bar tonight. This is how you coax a girl. Remember to have a good attitude when you admit your mistake. On the other side, Anchi went to see Mr. Fong. Anchi took out an envelope. Thank you for helping my brother and me pay back the money. Here's a few thousand. I'll pay back the rest slowly. You should take this money and use it for now. I'm not in a hurry. No, you've already helped me more than enough. What's wrong? Are you unhappy? No. Your expression says it all. Is someone causing trouble for you and your brother again? Anchi lowered her head and Mr. Fong pressed on. Then what is it? A breakup? A fight with a friend? No, it's my boss. Your boss? Well, do you want to change jobs? It's nothing, just a little unhappiness. He's actually quite good. That's good. If you're ever unhappy with your job, you can tell me. I can hire you with a high salary. No, that's all right. I had a pleasant chat with you today. I should get going, or I'll miss the last bus. Angie stood up. Then I'll have my driver take you back. No, there's no need. After Angie left, Mr. Fong asked his assistant to investigate Angie's boss. The woman's phone suddenly rang. Her brother's urgent cry for help came from the phone. After hearing it, the woman rushed off to save her brother without a second thought. It's just that she didn't know. At this moment, her brother was looking completely relaxed. It turned out this was an excuse he had concocted with the domineering CEO. The moment the woman pushed open the door, she saw her brother, safe and sound. The woman was instantly furious. You two actually ganged up to lie to me. But the brother didn't care. Seeing that he had successfully created some private time for them, he obediently slipped away. The next second, the man hugged the woman tightly from behind. The woman shouted, "Jean Yuing, what on earth are you trying to do?" But this time, the man silently drew closer to her. "I'm sorry." These three words left the woman stunned for a moment. The high and mighty young master could also apologize. But the man, with a pained expression, told her the reason he hid the fact that his sight had recovered. It was all because he was afraid. Afraid that she would start to distance herself from him after she found out. Afraid that she wouldn't treat him the same way as before. And even more afraid that she would leave him for someone else. "Because I like you very much." The woman was at a loss after hearing this, faced with such a sudden confession. The man then told her in embarrassment that he never thought he'd see the day he'd play pitiful to win sympathy. The man panicked. He didn't know what the woman was thinking. But the next second, the woman actually hugged him. "That I'm so happy to see you've recovered. How could I possibly distance myself from you?" At this moment, the man looked at the woman he loved and finally understood the feeling of being insecure in love. And the woman also finally understood. So this was what he was thinking. She had been misunderstanding him all along. Please stop saying the domineering CEO is a scumbag, because this time he actually confessed his love openly. Just now, the domineering CEO and the maid finally reconciled. It turned out it was all a misunderstanding. The man took her hand and asked gently, "Are you really not planning to leave?" After receiving the woman's firm answer, the man pulled her into his embrace. Only the man himself knew how long he had waited for the warmth of this moment, before the woman could react. The man threatened her with a slightly serious tone. "Then you won't be able to leave from now on." The girl fell silent. Is he teasing me again? But the next second, the man looked at her gently. "Lin Anchi, I like you." This sudden confession left the woman at a loss for words. Looking at the gentle man before her, she felt an immense sense of unfamiliarity. Is something about to happen? The girl felt uneasy in her heart. But the man said nothing. He took the woman's hand and walked towards the library's podium. The woman didn't understand what he was about to do, but the man told her it was something he would regret for a lifetime if he didn't do it. The man stood in the very center of the stage. He picked up the microphone and said loudly to the crowd below, "Everyone is too noisy. My girlfriend won't be able to hear me speak." The woman was stunned. How did I become his girlfriend? She was just about to pull the man and run, but he held her hand firmly. And what came next was the most important moment for the man. He loudly introduced her. "This is my girlfriend, Lin Anchi. When I was at my most helpless, she came to my side like an angel. Although I have a bad temper and always make her angry, she taught me what sincerity means. She let me see the sunlight in the darkness. I thank her. So now, I want her to hear this. Lin Anchi, I like you." This romantic confession immediately drew cheers from the crowd. And at this moment, the woman's eyes were already filled with tears. She never thought that the person who was once so out of reach would now truly be with her. Facing the man's confession, "I will love you and take care of you for the rest of my life," the woman tacitly agreed. The next second, under the witness of everyone, the two shared a kiss in the center of the stage, sealing their love. But just when they thought they would begin their sweet romance, when they returned home, the appearance of a woman completely shattered the situation. It was the ex-girlfriend the man had deeply loved 5 years ago. The domineering CEO is actually getting engaged to a third party, and it's the ex-girlfriend who once abandoned him. Just now, what was supposed to be a warm reunion between lovers was filled with hidden agendas from everyone present. First, the stepmother constantly praised Lin Anchi. "Thank you for taking such good care of our Yuing." After speaking, she even took her hand. This was a heartwarming scene in the eyes of others. But the domineering CEO looked coldly at his stepmother, because in his eyes, it was all an act. This sharp gaze, made Anshi also begin to suspect. It seems Ewing doesn't like the madam. Just then, old Mr. Jean announced some important news. After discussions with Chairman Bai, they had set the engagement party for Jean Ewing and his ex-girlfriend, Bai Shi. Moreover, it was to be a grand event. Anshi was shocked to hear this. How could they steal someone's love like this? And the ex-girlfriend at the side began to mock her smugly. Miss Lin, why are you so surprised? You didn't really think you and Ewing would end up together, did you? Lin Anshi was stunned. She wanted to retort, but had no way to. At this moment, Ewing, who was beside her, questioned his father. How could he be engaged without even knowing it himself? It was clearly a marriage alliance for business purposes arranged by his father. Yet he tried to pass it off with the excuse of a childhood engagement. Faced with all this, Jean Ewing didn't rush to object. Instead, he agreed to the engagement. This time, Lin Anshi couldn't sit still. He had just made a solemn vow to her. Was he lying again? The next second, Jean Ewing announced to everyone, "My bride can only be Lin Anshi." Then, he took Anshi's hand and strode away, because he understood that every extra second they stayed here would only cause Anshi another second of pain. Just before leaving, Jean Ewing even went to his ex-girlfriend and emphasized that Anshi was the most suitable girl in the world for him. Soon, Ewing returned to the room, thinking Anshi would be very moved. But she was sitting on the edge of the bed with a sad expression, because she was worried that Ewing would fall out with his father over this. To dispel her worries, the man pulled her into his arms, telling her that she must believe him, that no matter what happened, his heart for her would never change. But just as he was about to go and clarify things with his father, he was stopped by his ex-girlfriend. She hugged the man from behind and said in a tearful, aggrieved voice, "All these years, I've really missed you. You must have missed me too, right?" Instantly, flashes of the moments they spent together 5 years ago crossed the man's mind. But right at this moment, Lin Anshi saw this scene. She had never seen such a manipulative ex-girlfriend. She clearly knew the man already had a partner. Yet she openly hugged him from behind, displaying her manipulative words and actions to the fullest, that "I miss you so much. Let me hug you properly." The moment she saw his current girlfriend, Lin Anshi, she became even more melodramatic, recounting their past. She thought the man would fall for her act. Unexpectedly, Jean Ewing said coldly, "Miss Bai, don't you think you're being ridiculous?" Just as the ex was trying to trap the man with memories. The man suddenly flung her hand away. The woman, with an aggrieved look, asked the man, "How can you talk to me like this now? Are you still angry with me?" The man sneered after hearing this. He was no longer the foolish boy he once was. He had changed, simply become smarter, no longer so blind. After saying this, he prepared to stride away, but the woman grabbed him firmly. Then, she threw herself into the man's arms again. "Can we really not go back to how things were?" She cried and apologized continuously, trying every possible way to win back the man's heart. After all, they were once so in love. And Lin Anshi, who was watching all of this, chose not to step forward and interrupt. She silently returned to her room to think, because she also understood how much of a blow Miss Bai's departure had dealt the man. A love that was etched in his bones was shattered, leaving him in a daze and becoming twisted. She understood that this was a moment of decision for the man. She also believed in Jean Ewing. But would he really come? Just then, there was a knock on the door. It was him. It was Jean Ewing. He really came. He immediately hugged Lin Anshi, who was waiting for him. But seeing her listless expression, the man thought Lin Anshi didn't want him to come. When the woman asked, "Weren't you with Miss Bai?" the man instantly understood that she was jealous. He then comforted her. "Anshi, you need to have confidence in yourself, and even more confidence in me, because right now, I only have feelings for you. Bai Shi is already in the past." Anshi burst out laughing after hearing this. The man thought his confession was laughable. It turned out that Anshi found his serious expression very cute. She threw herself into the man's arms, and the man, seeing this, chuckled softly. "You like to joke, do you? Then we can play some more fun games." Before the woman could react, the man swept her up in a princess carry. The woman was about to resist, but in Jean Ewing's eyes, when a kitten misbehaves and scratches its owner, it needs to be punished. Can you imagine how arrogant a third party can be? Not only did she openly hug the man in front of his current girlfriend, she also insulted the current girlfriend, calling her a low-class person. She even threatened to beat the woman up. Just now, And she, after sleeping for who knows how long, discovered that the third party, Baishi, was making breakfast. She had only kindly asked what she was doing, but in return, she received cold sarcasm. Jin Yueying and I are back together. Didn't you know? And she clearly saw through her act. Just as she was about to expose her by saying Yueying wouldn't say that, Baishi became even more brazen. Jin Yueying not only misses my breakfast, he also misses the touch and scent of my lips. Lin Anchi was completely stunned. Before she could react, Baishi added, Jin Yueying likes to get angry after kissing, right? That's because he sees you as me. Even though Anchi tried hard to calm herself down, choosing to endure for the sake of peace, just as she was about to leave, Baishi shouted to stop her, but it's come to this, and you're still not backing out. The atmosphere between the two instantly became tense. Anchi retorted unhappily, why should I be the one to back out? Because the one Yueying loves is me, not you. After saying that, Baishi even tried to poke Anchi with her finger, but was pushed away. However, Baishi used this action to her advantage again. I really don't know what Yueying sees in a crude person like you. This time, Anchi really couldn't take it anymore. She had intended to not cause trouble if no one troubled her. But faced with Baishi's various provocations, she grabbed Baishi's outstretched hand and said, who do you think you are? The one Yueying loves now is me. Unexpectedly, Baishi became even more shameless that you're the third party who's destroying someone else's relationship. Anchi's face fell upon hearing this. How did she become the third party? She shouted angrily at Baishi, you're clearly the third party. Stop insulting people here. She thought this would scare the manipulative woman, but instead, she pulled out a gold card. Here's 5 million. Leave Jin Yueying right now. This time, Lin Anchi became unusually calm. She exposed Baishi's scheme. You left Yueying back then because he became blind and lost his inheritance rights. Now that Yueying's eyes are better, you immediately come back. How can there be such a vain and shameless woman like you in the world? Even if Yueying doesn't end up with me, he would never be with you. Seeing Baishi on the verge of a breakdown from her words, Anchi immediately delivered another blow. Because you're not worthy. This statement completely enraged Baishi. She raised her hand to slap Anchi. He is a cold and ruthless domineering CEO, but at the same time, a gentle and considerate boyfriend. He thought he could live happily ever after with the woman, but what he didn't know was how much she had suffered for it. In the eyes of her classmates, she was a worldly woman who latched onto a rich man. Even the great CEO, Jin's ex-girlfriend, dared to openly smash a vase at her. She was completely disregarded just because she was a country girl with no background and no connections. Although the woman had been trying her best to endure, in the end, the man discovered the scar on her hand. When he asked about it, she tried to brush it off, but what she never expected was that Baishi was hospitalized and had framed her for it. How could that be? The woman instantly remembered the moment Baishi smashed the vase at her that morning. It was clearly Baishi who had slipped and fallen. The scattered fragments had even cut her hand. How did she end up becoming the villain? The woman felt so wrong she wanted to cry. Suddenly, the man pulled her into a hug. He seemed to have seen through her thoughts. You don't need to explain anything. I know everything. These words, full of security, brought a trace of comfort to the woman's heart. Perhaps this is what a mature relationship is like. She buried her head in the man's embrace. At this moment, she even felt that he was the one for the rest of her life. But things always develop in the opposite direction. Just as the two returned home, they found that Baishi's father had also come to the house. The man instantly understood his purpose for coming, but he still held the woman's hand tightly. This scene made old Mr. Bai absolutely furious. But the man couldn't care less. He introduced her even more generously. This is my fiancée, Lin Anchi. With a roar of fury, old Mr. Bai raged, don't you go too far. Baishi is still lying in the hospital. How can you do this to her? But the man was unconcerned. How is it not clear? Didn't I just introduce her? This is my fiancée. We're even holding a press conference tomorrow. Instantly, old Mr. Bai was choked with anger and left speechless. To prevent himself from dying of anger on the spot, he had no choice but to leave in a huff. And at this moment, Lin Anchi was filled with guilt. Every time there was trouble, she couldn't do anything. She thought she had escaped this time, but as she was about to go upstairs, she was harshly called to a halt by old Mr. Jean, who was preparing to give Lin Anchi a hard time. The great CEO, Jean, actually argued with his father, almost giving him a heart attack. Just now, seeing Jin Yueying actually siding with Lin Anchi, he pointed at his nose and cursed. How did you become like this? But how could the now mature Jin Yueying become someone else's pawn? Just as he was about to rebut his father, Lin Anchi unexpectedly stepped forward to speak for him. Because she deeply understood that Yuying had fallen out with his father because of her, so she couldn't let him bear everything. But before she could finish half a sentence, she was intimidated by old Mr. Jin's aura. "It's all because of you that my son and I are at odds." Suddenly, Lin Anchi became the villain. But the next second, Anchi retorted angrily. "Because of me what? She smashed a vase at me. Did I not dodge? Or if she frames me, I have to admit it." And all these words, in old Mr. Jin's view, were just fabricated lies. This how you spoil Yuying. At this moment, Anchi fell completely silent. It seemed she was, after all, a person with no right to speak. Suddenly, Jin Yuying pulled her to his side and said forcefully, "Dad, I will always believe in Anchi." It was precisely this sentence that made Baishi's father's face darken. He turned, not wanting to stay a moment longer, and threatened CEO Jin's father, "I'll hold a media press conference tomorrow. We'll see you in court." Seeing old Mr. Bai had completely turned against them, old Mr. Jin's heart was severely stressed. He clutched his chest in pain. Fortunately, Jin Yuying brought medicine in time. Otherwise, it would have been a disaster. Looking at his recovering father, Jin Yuying wanted to explain things properly. But who would have thought that the reason he was so angry was entirely because falling out with the Bai family would affect the progress of his own family's new project. And Jin Yuying, hearing all this, naturally knew the seriousness of the matter. He understood that he couldn't hold a press conference no matter what. Otherwise, he might become a violent criminal who beat his father-in-law. Soon, Jin Yuying went to find Anchi to resolve the matter. This made her, who had been feeling powerless all along, feel even more self-reproachful. Even if it was just a little, she hoped she could be of some use. So she went alone to the hospital where Baishi was, preparing to apologize to her in person. To help her boyfriend share the pressure, the woman specifically went to apologize to the manipulative ex-girlfriend. Even though she had been ruthlessly trampled underfoot by the manipulative woman in the past, the moment she saw Jin Yuying at odds with his father, she decided not to be the one who was always protected. When she went to the hospital alone to find the manipulative woman, as expected, the other party was completely disdainful of her arrival. Anchi was just about to apologize, but the manipulative woman continued with her cold sarcasm that she the type of person who would apologize? Anchi listened to these harsh words. She trembled as she held the fruit basket. It was this timidity that made the already arrogant, manipulative woman even more conceited. She pointed at Anchi's nose and cursed. "Are you dead? If you're going to apologize, hurry up and speak." After Anchi stammered out the 3 words, "I'm sorry," she thought the matter could be put to rest. Unexpectedly, the manipulative woman had no intention of letting Anchi go. She felt that a simple "I'm sorry" was not sincere enough. She instantly knocked over the vase on the side. Pointing at the glass shards on the floor, she demanded that Anchi kneel on the fragments to apologize. This twisted behavior was the correct way to apologize in the manipulative woman's eyes. But Anchi wasn't stupid. This was going too far. But she didn't want to make things difficult for Jin Yuying. Although she was poor, she still had her dignity. The next second, Anchi angrily expressed her dissatisfaction to the manipulative woman. "You're going too far." She was clearly apologizing sincerely. But the manipulative woman didn't care and even demanded that Anchi not use such innocent-looking tactics on her. Either kneel and apologize, or get out now. But just as Anchi was about to apologize, she was yanked over by the manipulative woman. Anchi finally couldn't take it anymore. She flung the manipulative woman onto the bed. She was clearly the victim, yet now she was being forced into the role of the abuser. Is it fun to frame someone? The manipulative woman laughed upon hearing this. It turned out everything was within her control. What if I frame you? Who will know the truth? This sinister smile frightened Anchi. Watching the manipulative woman before her humiliate her again and again, Anchi could only resort to her last measure. She didn't want to blow things up. When she told the manipulative woman that the Jin family's residence was surrounded by many surveillance cameras, the manipulative woman was utterly shocked. She had gone to great lengths to send away all the nannies and maids, but she never expected to forget to turn off the surveillance cameras. This time, it was Lin Anchi who had the upper hand, that if you continue to be shameless, I will definitely ruin your reputation.